to rise and shine and start your day with Duval Sports Media Big Steppers. Dan Hicken.
You know it!
Jeff Proctor.
It's a big deal.
Gosh, it sure is a big deal.
And E to the T.
E.T. is in the booth.
Friday morning. We're live at the Magnolia Point Golf and Country Club. It's the E to the T Classic. We love these days. We get out of the studio, out of the confines. We break free from the chains of employment, at least traditional. And we set up shop here at all these cool little locations. And this is one of them. I'm looking forward to playing this golf course. Hey, there we are. Chilling. Nice and cash here inside the, we're in the pub. Is that what they call this, ET? We're in the pub here. And the Googans are going to be going through. What time you get them out on the golf course, ET? 9:30? Yeah, 9:25. Is there significance to that specific start time? 92.5, my man. Guggen goes 10-10, ET goes 92.5. 9:25, the boys will go out. And then the winning team, which will consist of myself and Dan Hicken, and our two partners, we'll go out as soon as the show's over. We'll jump in line, and then this year we're going to win because we've curtailed some of the shenanigans. What was ET? Sit down. I know you're trying to get busy there. I'm all sideways, cockeyed. No one cares. Somebody's getting up right now. They had a late night last night. They're looking at that thing like, what?
What's going on?
I don't hear you.
Yo.
There you go. I forget what the heck I was even going to say. Last year, wasn't the winner last year some ridiculous, like he shot like 40-something or something?
Hey, guess what? And they're coming back this year.
Yeah, we're gonna run them through here this morning. We're gonna have to have a little conversation with them this morning when they arrive. So yeah, our returning champs are back. But last year, we must have had mulligans and such.
Mulligans and throwies.
Yeah, no mulligans, no throwies.
No sir.
Let's just go play golf.
Just go play.
All right, I'm gonna set here. I play a lot of golf. I play a lot of charity golf. I played 100 scrambles just like this. I played them with all level of golfers, where they've all been the same or lower than me. They've all been the same or better than me. I played with PGA pros, and I played with Dan Hicken. Okay, I played them all. So I know this course a little bit. I haven't been here in a while. I'm looking forward to getting out there today. They have one of the unique palettes to paint their golf course on here because there's some landscape. You got a little bit of elevation out here. We're tucked in there's so many cool little places on the First Coast. Green Cove Springs is one of those. With Clay High Beat, Green Cove Springs address.
Absolutely.
That's a cool little place over here, man. I got to come in the back way. I came over the Shands Bridge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Took me maybe 25 minutes from Julington Creek.
You know, we got different routes we can take to work.
Well, from there to here, I've always said I wish there was a bridge from Julington Creek Plantation to like Eagle Harbor. You know, and they built one. They're building a faster way down closer to Palatka. That's not going to, but this is it's like dead in the middle. I can go down and come over the Buckman, or I can go the scenic route and come over the Shands. Now, you go the scenic route, you always run into you're on a 2-lane highway. Nonetheless, you guys probably had enough of my travel plans this morning. Ultimately, we are here at our destination. And yeah, back to what I was going to say, I'm going to realistically set, look, 18 under's 54. If you've got a good group of 4 guys, they're all playing good, and they can hit long, and they play perfect, and could maybe go 20 under. 52 is reasonable. 46 is baloney. I mean, honestly, if 46 is that's like 8 eagles on top of everything else being a birdie. That is, without a handicap, that just sounds a little sketch to me. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see who comes out on top today. We're gonna have a good time. What you got set up out there?
Oh man, I got some stuff set up. So a lot of local restaurants a couple of restaurants are coming out. A lot of holes are sponsored. So La Napolera, they're going to be right there on the first tee. They're going to set up a margarita machine.
Oh, you bet they are.
One of my favorites is my hole 15. Okay. It's going to be the Foundations table, but also I got a golf ball launcher on that one.
Okay.
So you can shoot the golf ball launcher.
For your drive on that hole?
Yeah, yep.
How far does it go, do you know?
It'll go up to like 450.
450? Can you hit it? And you got to dial it in?
Yeah, you can adjust it.
And what is that hole? I don't know what that is. Is it a par 5?
It's a par 5. Yeah, it's a par 5.
So you can't
wide open.
You can't shoot it all the way to the green, but you can get it way down. Okay, let me adjust my score by 1. It's going to turn that into a 450, huh?
Yeah, so just a lot of.
What are the purposes of those machines?
Just for fun. Just for fun. It's just a way for charities.
But it doesn't also launch like baseballs for
it's
fly ball practice.
Strictly a
anything like that.
Launcher.
All right, cool. And you know what? I've also realized is going to happen today for you.
What's that?
You're going to be jonesing to play more this year than last year.
Man, yeah, I know, right?
Because last year you hadn't played as much and you're running around, but now when you run around and see people, you're going to wish you were out there swinging the stick.
Yeah, it's cool, but also I just want to thank all the sponsors, everybody who made this happen. Some buddies that you connected me with, just people like just everybody, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do this.
Well, I know
for the foundation.
I know the boys from Catlin Truck Accessories will be coming out. He's bringing a group. My guy Petros may be playing.
He is.
So Petros is probably
he's playing with my boy Joey.
Okay, good dudes, man. So looking forward to seeing all them and a lot of other good dudes who'll be making their way out here. I'm sure some of your buddies, some of your CC cronies out here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's just I'm ready for a good time. I got my guys on here. They're gonna tee off, I guess, right at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna head right out, man.
I'm gonna have a cart here for y'all.
We did it last year, and we were able to get out and fell right in line, and probably finished as quick as everybody else. Really, you're not, man. If everyone goes at 9:25, 92.5, well played, and you go at 10, you're maybe just a hole behind.
Probably.
And hopefully I can find the gap. How many did you sell? What do we got? You got a group a hole, two a hole? How's it working?
It's about 134 golfers.
So how many what does that mean?
That's 32 foursomes, I believe.
30. So, you got a foursome on every hole and then two foursomes on 14 of them. All right, boys. I'll see y'all about 6 p.m.
No.
About 6 p.m. we'll be pulling into the shop here. I hope the margarita machine is early or it could get sloppy out there.
We're going to make sure that pace of play stays
good for you. I like it. All right. Well, we got a lot more talking about our fun day. A little summer field trip for us. It's the second annual E to the T. This thing's, and by the way, we'll help you evolve. Either next year or the next. You have to bring in a handler to do all this so that you can get in and you can play in the tournament too.
That's the plan.
Yeah, okay. Well, good. I like that. All right, well, we got all your fun favorites here. It's a GFL Friday as we come at you from Clay County. NBA draft second round last night. Listen, what the local, there's a little spree of localness to the draft last night, and I don't have the exact order in front of me. But I know that Elijah Martin went maybe a little higher than you would think. He was drafted by Toronto. I mean, there was a stretch in the second round where every single pick was traded. So I'm just going to tell you these guys were drafted. But Elijah Martin was drafted. Chaz Lanier, the UNF Osprey, who transferred to Tennessee for his final year of eligibility, he was drafted in round 2. Jameer Watkins from Florida State, he went in round 2 last night. And then Will Richard ended up going in round 2, and I think he landed ultimately with Golden State. That would seem like a good spot for Will Richard.
Yeah.
He could be. I could see him as a poor man's Klay Thompson. Obviously, Klay Thompson is a future Hall of Famer. But I think if you're looking for landing spots, like Elijah Martin, he fits anywhere. Right? Mm-hmm. He's defense, energy. You could put him that maybe some teams that are more geared that way would be a better fit than others. But you feel like Elijah Martin could really go into any camp. He's not going to win a starting job offensively. His roster spot's going to be coming in off the bench, energy, defense. So I don't think it mattered so much where he landed. I said yesterday, Walter Clayton, it's a perfect landing spot, I think. I mean, he landed in a place where, as a rookie, he potentially could take that starting job in Utah. And I think Will Richard landing with Golden State. Obviously, Will Richard became a much more well-rounded player this last year for Florida, and I think that lifted him up into round 2. But he's known for that jumper, that three-pointer in particular. He had some big games for Florida this year shooting the basketball. And so the second round comes and goes. It's I saw Janai Broome went relatively high, but a second rounder, player of the year in the SEC, a second rounder. It's interesting, the guys that don't get drafted. Caleb Love, who started at North Carolina and then transferred to Arizona, had a really good year out there. He was undrafted. The guy from St. John's that Patino benched down the stretch of their tournament loss, he went undrafted. He signed a rookie free agent deal. And then there was another one. It was another guard, a name guard that would have surprised you that he wasn't drafted. So there you go. That's the NBA. Now it gets interesting because free agency and trades and big names and all those things will now take the headlines. And the truth is, that what we've seen the last two nights, if you look, no one knew who Jalen Williams was 5 years ago. Right?
Correct.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, no one was beating down the door. No one knew who Tyrese Halliburton was if you weren't a Big 12 basketball fan when Sacramento drafted him just outside the top 10. And I mentioned 9 of the 10 starters in this year's NBA Finals were not even selected in the top 10. I guess Chet Holmgren would have been the only one.
Chet, yeah.
And he wasn't number one. Was he like 5th?
He was high, yeah, but he wasn't number 1.
Yeah. Man, and watch it again. Man, that dude is so skinny.
Yeah, he still ain't put no weight on.
I thought he had put weight on as I watched the season. But, man, watching those finals, those legs, I don't know how they're not just going to break in half.
Remember how he got hurt?
Yeah.
I feel like because he's so small.
And it just they look like my forearm size.
Twigs, man.
You ain't talking to Popeye here either now. So there's that. Fun times are going to end at some point when you're a Braves fan, and they showed their true colors here these last 2 games. The Mets salvaged the last 2, so Hicken can be happy. He can move on to bigger things. I will happily take in the interpersonal rivalry a little 5-2 shellacking, but winning those first 5 would have been nice to win one of the last 2. The Braves are just treading water. They're just messing around and treading water. If any kind of run's going to come, we'll see. I have no confidence in that. I've been saying it all year. It doesn't mean we can't hope, but fingers crossed and a couple of Hail Marys. That's about all it seems is going to resonate right now for the Braves. As for the Mets, they need to get some sort of charge. They lost their pitcher. It's Griffin Canning. Another Achilles.
Oh, that's crazy.
You should have seen this guy. It's a pitcher. He tore his Achilles.
As his pitching?
On a grounder to short. He pitched. He landed. He just went to pivot and turn and immediately limped and fell to the ground. He tore his Achilles just pivoting on
Was he like wincing? Was he in pain? His face?
He had that wince, but he didn't like immediately drop like Halliburton.
Yeah.
He took like 2 or 3 steps and then went seated. He didn't go completely, but they've already said it's a torn Achilles. The Mets have already had all kinds of issues with the pitching staff, and this guy, who ironically was released by the Braves, had been a nice find for them. He'll be gone for the year, and so when we get to September and October, and the big boys in the National League are doing battle, the Mets, I imagine, will still be in the conversation, and the Braves will have a tea time. Maybe they can join us here at Magnolia Point. Yeah, I'll see Ozzie Albies and Austin Riley 2 days after the season ends, up at Cherokee. How's that sound, boys? We'll get us a tea time. We'll have some fun. We can talk about how weak you guys were all year. Okay, we've had a lot of we've been going through the lists, right? And it's just that time of year in football, especially with this down month between the end of off-season programs for NFL teams, college, spring sessions and workouts have pretty much shut down. So we've got this dead period of about a month, a little bit less now, where it's just kind of reviewing what's happened this off-season. In addition to what played out in the 2024 campaign at both levels of football. And, you're looking at what the realistic prospects are for the season coming up. There's been personnel changes. There's been all over both levels of football. So you see players ranked and units ranked and predicted orders of finish and all that. And a couple of lists the last couple of days that gives you great optimism. One was the Tice list of quarterbacks. What was his name? Noah Tice? Was that it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Mike Tice's kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was a former college quarterback, yada, yada. He had Trevor ranked 9th in his preseason list of quarterbacks, which is just, it's all we want, right? We want a top 10 quarterback and get rolling with some momentum, can alpha us to a higher ceiling than he's been able to so far. But anyway, that's
Nate Tice.
Nate Tice. So I got the end part. Boy's a little under the weather.
You've been fighting that.
Yeah, I have. That's okay. So Trevor 9th in that list. We're like, oh, okay. Then yesterday, Pro Football Focus is doing some unit rankings, and they remind us of some of these individual rankings when they put Devin Lloyd as the 7th best linebacker in the NFL. Well, yesterday, the Jaguars linebacking core checks in as the 6th best linebacking unit in the entire NFL. And, it's like we talked about yesterday. I think most of us would put it behind the secondary and maybe even behind the defensive line. Well, the defensive line rankings have come out. Pro Football Focus, did those yesterday. So now we move up to Josh Hines and Trayvon Walker and some of those pieces on the interior. And when we come back on the other side, we'll delve into that list just a little bit. Spoiler alert, news not so good and happy when it comes to this one. So we'll get into that a little bit on the other side. RJ is in studio for us. Appreciate that, RJ. Good morning, friend.
Morning, man. How are you?
We're great. We'll dial up Captain Kevin Favor in the break as well, get you a fishing report for what's happening out on the water this weekend. We are live at the E to the T Classic, just getting you up and rolling as the sun rises to the east. Going to come up over the St. Johns River from this Green Cove Springs side of things, and looking forward to a wonderful morning and day here at Magnolia Point. So we'll take our first time out. It's a GFL Friday. That's Green for Life. We're back with Captain Kevin Moore next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Palmer to throw, and he's sacked back at the 11-yard line. And it's the massive tackle, Marcus Stroud.
Jaguars pride forever. 1010XL.
Hayes Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is poured at Southern Coast Seafood, now open Mondays. Enjoy craft for $12.99 a pound on Tuesdays. Drink Brackish Wednesdays with $1 oyster on the half shell. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka made right here in Jacksonville for whatever your sport is. If your sport is crab at Southern Coast, your vodka is Brackish. Southern Coast Seafood, now open Mondays. Brackish Vodka, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. Setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
During the NFL offseason, 1010XL keeps the information engine turning.
There we go.
More. Roll through the offseason with AA Automotive on Richard Street. Family run since 1954.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boaters and landlubbers, friends, four-legged and two, this is Lisa the Botanista with a huge announcement. Freedom Boat Club is opening a brand new 4th location. That's right, Freedom Boat Club St. Augustine Shipyard is now open. Now members can enjoy unlimited access at Julington Creek, Jacksonville Beach, St. Augustine Comanche Cove, and St. Augustine Shipyard. Freedom Boat Club members also enjoy reciprocal access to over 400 locations across the world. There's never been a better time to join. We are offering our biggest discount ever to celebrate our brand new location. We own and maintain an entire fleet of boats. Join the club, and as often as you like, you can do water sports, inshore fishing, offshore fishing, sandbar hopping, dining on the water, or just cruising around town. Visit us at the St. Augustine Shipyard or stop by any of our locations to see what the Boat Cierge experience is all about. Visit us at freedomboatclub.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
After our son's shoulder issues were worsening, we took him to see Dr. Snyder at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, who recommended PRP treatment. We trusted Dr. Snyder's evaluation and look forward to seeing him pitch again. For the right care, the best care, we highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this weekend at newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Join us tonight on Red Shirt Friday for fireworks. Tomorrow features fireworks and a Wizard Club giveaway, all presented by Maxwell House. Come early on Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day for Catch on the Field and meet Bluey at the ballpark. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Captain Kevin Favors Fishing Report. Brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. You dream it, we build it. On 1010XL.
All right, time to hang up the two of my favorite things. Golfing and fishing. Can't go wrong with that. I get to do one and talk about the other. Kev, you feel me on that, don't you, buddy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've probably been to Magnolia Point back in the day.
Yeah, in Greenco?
Greenco, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of First Coast is so charming. You have a little area down there, St. Augustine. When I say First Coast, let's go from Nassau down to, down through St. John's and Clay and back through Putnam and up through. It's just so many cool little places. Greenco's a cool little place. I was driving over across the Shands. That sun was starting to come up this morning. Man, it was peaceful.
Are you there this morning?
Yeah, we're at Magnolia. Each of the E has his charity golf tournament today, so we're doing the show here at Magnolia and then playing when we're done. Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what?
A lot of people.
Playing?
Well, they tee off at the tourney goes at 9:25, 92.5. Get it? And then Dan and I and our partners will just fall in line when we get off the air. 50-ish, I would say.
Very nice.
Not a bad Friday. I went to the beach. This is what happened to me, Kevin. That's so bitterly disappointed. What I did, somewhat selfishly, is we kind of set up. We ended up having a beach day last weekend, right? It was Sunday, I think we went to the beach, but it was, the family took the grandkid and his dad and, me and Stace, and part of going to the beach, and that wasn't the reason for going to the beach, but I was going to take the rod, we were going to drive south down to one of the Guanax. I was going to take the rod, I was going to throw it in there, throw it out a little bit, see what's going on, and, depending on the crowds and that kind of thing, it was packed too. So I go, and thankfully before I went, I just said, let me just check things. I haven't fished in a while. Let me click the bail. Let me flip it out. Let me make sure everything's working. Right. And I've just, I've corroded, dog rusted my reel to, it won't even crank, so I got to go get new equipment. Bottom line, I didn't get to fish. We went to the beach. You were right about that water, man. It was cold.
It's cold, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was cold. Yeah. I mean, to be that time of year, it was cold. It wasn't chilly. It was cold.
And it's been kind of wonky all week. The fishing's been good. Don't get me wrong, but it's you have to find them. I know that you have to find them every day, but there's like pools of that cold water still around, and the sharks are all in it. The sharks love it. So whenever you fishing in close to where that cold water is, you get sharked up. I mean, you can't hardly keep a bait out. But when you find that warmer water, which is generally, it's just very strange where you find it. But when you do, it's got fish on it. There's plenty of kingfish. So it's just it's going to be. And by the way, I think all of this is getting ready to go away. We're getting ready to have like southwest winds and then southeast in the afternoon, and it'll roll this thermocline over, and we'll start having some warm waters again. But yeah, the weather's going to be like spectacular the next few days. They're calling for some rain showers tomorrow, which we need. So yeah, I think that it's going to be a great weekend to fish. We're actually fishing the Kingfish Challenge, the juniors tournament today.
Okay.
And then the general tournaments tomorrow, which I'm not doing. I've got to do the outdoor show. So I'm sure they're going to have. I expect them to have an amazing turnout of fish because it's been extremely good.
Well, I know in past when you have those upwellings, those thermoclines as you call them, it's kind of had a negative effect on the kingfish fishery, but you're working around that this time. You think they'll be?
And we have learned how to fish those thermoclines.
Okay.
And it's actually a cool fishery when it happens. I mean, last week I caught 2 cobia a day, which is what you're allowed, and 2 big cobia a day, and that's all due to colder water. You just don't see those fish around here very often when the water's 82, 83 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But we had 74, 75 degrees last week on the water temperature, and they like that. They I don't know where they come from, Jeff. I can't answer that, or if they're there all the time, and then they just come off the bottom when it gets cold. I don't know. But and then the African pompano. I mean, I had numerous friends of mine catch African pompano last week, and there was mahi caught within 9 miles. So
right.
It's,
that's way out of.
Whenever it's warm, it's like, okay, let's go kingfishing and tarpon fishing.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever there's a thermocline, we're still doing the same thing. We're still pulling pogies, but we're catching different fish.
It's an interesting question though that you pose. Like, where are all these fish? Like, normally they can't be coming in from ever. And it's a big ocean, Kev. I wonder if there are little pockets of cold water here or there that still no one even knows about out there somewhere.
No, hell no, absolutely not. No, and as a matter of fact, a lot of times, Jeff, we don't even know there's a thermocline until like the divers go out and they're spearing fish or whatever, and they're like, it is so cold. On the bottom, and that's a thermocline. That's a rollover, upwelling, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it's still cold. I mean, it's weird. On the surface, yesterday I had 78 degrees, but I mean, you put your hand in there to get a bait, and it's still cold.
All right. Well, the fishing sounds like it'll be just fine through it, and kingfishing is going on right now, and all kinds of good stuff. Outdoor show tomorrow. Where are y'all? Just in studio?
Yep. No, we are at Hagen Ace.
Okay.
In Mandarin tomorrow.
All right.
So that's,
right around the corner from me.
Yeah, right around the corner from you. So.
Yep. Perfect.
Looking forward to it.
All right, my man. Have a good day. Good luck out there and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, brother. You and RJ have a good day.
All right, there he goes. That's Captain Kevin Favor, best in the business. All right, it's time for the other side of the list game. Been pretty uplifting the last couple of days. We got a list for Trevor, top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Yesterday, we got our linebacking core apparently is dynamic. Today, I introduced you to the PFF 2025 NFL defensive line rankings.
Okay,
defensive line. So, ET, let's just go over real quick in our head. You've got Allen and Walker. Allen grades well. Walker doesn't. I mean, he's got a sack number, but according to the grades, I guess that's the only time he's really doing anything is if he gets a sack. Or, they ain't count pressure time. They're putting a lot of things into this that go beyond. If you're grading a guy, if this guy gets the quarterback in 2.7 seconds, but this guy got there and forced him out of the pocket in 1.6. Who had the better play? I guess that's what grading's all about. Anyway, and I'm not saying that's how they do it exactly, but let's get to the meat of this thing. We'll start at the top. Steelers, right? T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward still doing it. They got a good. They're the Eagles again. We already saw them up at the top of the linebacker rankings. Defensive line, they're number 2. The Giants, they've drafted Keon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, top 5 picks the last 3 or 4 years. They traded for former first-rounder Brian Burns. They've also got Dexter Lawrence on the interior. They are the number 3 defensive line. Our division rival, the Houston Texans, may have the best edge defending duo, Pro Football Focus says, with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. Hunter's 84.6 grade had him 12th among edges. Anderson's 87.8 had him 10th among edge rushers. Does say the Texans struggled in the interior. That may continue to be a problem. But at number 4, it's the Houston Texans, and he got Buffalo. Now it's time to scroll. I'm scrolling. Let's see. Let's scroll here. 15, the Chiefs. Still no Jags. 17, the Colts, our division rivals. 19, the Chargers. 21, the Niners. We're going through the defensive line rankings. 25, the Cincinnati Bengals. 26, the Jets. 27, the Panthers. I'm sorry, the Bucks. 28, the Panthers. It's Pro Football Focus's defensive line grades. Rankings. Panthers, 28. Jacksonville Jaguars, number 29. Yeah, the linebackers damn well better be good, huh? Sounds like they'll have a lot of action. Here's what they write about the Jaguars' apparently porous defensive line. The Jaguars' defense ranked 25th in pressure rate on plays without blitzing. The situation looks similarly bleak for 2025. Josh Hines-Allen, who ranked between 10th and 18th among edge defenders in PFF overall grade in each of the last 4 seasons, remains one of the better players at his position. However, the Jags need former first overall pick Trayvon Walker to take a step forward in his 4th year. For now, Jacksonville has arguably the NFL's worst interior defensive line. Oof. What? Now, you got to refresh my memory what we did on the interior of the defensive line. Checks notes. Nothing. What do we do? What do we do on the interior line? We want Mason Smith to step up his game to another level. Am I forgetting somebody? I don't want to be that guy.
I mean, we moved Armstead inside.
We moved Armstead inside, but new personnel on the interior of the defensive line.
I was going to say Agba.
He's an edge.
Yeah, he's an edge.
Not much.
We can do
But they're counting an awful lot of growth and improvement and ultimately production from Mason Smith. I mean, Devon Hamilton, come on, man. We've been waiting on that ship. We've been standing at the harbor like a widow waiting on that ship to come in. So, yeah, it's alarming. It's alarming that anyone would view any part of any team 29th in the league. We'll see if the hits keep coming as we continue to go through some of these off-season grades. All right, we had this conversation yesterday when there was a column, one thing each team could still do or something to that effect. And we pretty much decided there's really not much the Jaguars can do. There's not although that stat may tell you they should be on the lookout for interior defensive linemen. But there is I got another one here. This one's from ESPN, and they just go around the league proposing one final offseason move. So never mind what you may think the move is. Here's a move that they think everyone should make. We will jump into the Jaguar side of the equation, offer up some other news from the National Football League, all tidy for you with a football fix. All that and more. We are live from the Magnolia Point Golf and Country Club site. The second annual Eat to the Tee Charity Golf Classic. Looking to have a lot of fun today. Looking forward to seeing a lot of folks. And we'll be back with more next. It's a GFL Friday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Sports sounds better on radio.
I love it. I love it.
You get the most live sports on 1010XL.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Colin Morikawa will tee off today as a 12-1 favorite to win the Rocket Classic at the Detroit Golf Club. Patrick Cantley 16-1. Keegan Bradley, last week's winner at the Travelers, is 20-1. Braves drop a 7-3 decision at the Mets yesterday. Granholm today for Atlanta, -108 against Griffin Canning of the Mets, -112. Shane Boggs is 7-3, 4.79 ERA, $1.23 favorite as the Rays visit Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City to meet the Royals today. 9.5 over the total. Michael Lorenzen on the mound for Kansas City. He's a +101 underdog. $250 bonus and you open up a GBank Visa signature card. VSiN.com/GBank. With your action update, Mike Sennett, 1010XL.
Oh, no.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Hey, John, have you seen the exciting 2025 lineup at Randy Marion Cadillac?
They've got the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Vistique. It's a Cadillac lover's dream.
And the best part, over 100 new Cadillacs are in stock and ready for you to drive home today.
Plus, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and experience luxury and performance like never before.
Visit us today at Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Don't miss out on these incredible vehicles. Your new Cadillac awaits.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. In summertime, it really can stretch out most of the year because we love the warm temperatures here in the Sunshine State. Greg, give them an idea of what Honda has to offer.
They are all over the board. They've got Honda scooters, Honda motorcycles, we've got Honda boats, we've got Honda side-by-sides. So whatever you like, we've got it.
That means adventure is waiting.
That's right, and we're ready for you.
In the showroom, you can find all that Honda has to offer on Atlantic near Regency, or check out Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
You can't go inside your home team's locker room, so Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline goes there for you.
Work on three, 1, 2, 3,
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Yo, it's your main man E.T. here for Explore Clay. And Clay County is your destination this 4th of July. Start the morning with the Freedom 5K in Keystone Heights. Medals for the first 300 finishers and a scenic course through the shaded neighborhoods. Then enjoy the 57th annual celebration at City Hall with vendors, live music, and family fun. Wrap up the day at Moose Haven in Orange Park for the American Pride 4th of July, a free Riverside event with food, live entertainment, and fireworks over the St. Johns River. Discover more at exploreclay.com.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back. We're live at the Magnolia Point Golf and Country Club. It's the E to the T Classic today, so looking forward to getting out. They will go off at 9:25. I imagine the boys will start showing up. Bloody Marys will be flowing before you know it.
You already know.
They'll get that margarita machine cooking on the first tee. We're good. Oh, yeah.
That's my
Tomahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to have a transfusion here at breakfast time.
You and me, we the same people.
Yeah. Y'all don't tell nobody. Don't ask, don't tell. I see you YouTubers.
I see y'all.
When you see this styrofoam cup in front of me, okay, when you see this styrofoam cup in front of me here in about an hour, it's just juice. Settle down. I have a Dailies Double Take. It's kind of a cool thing. Not many people can go to the Olympics, right?
Correct.
And not a lot of cities have Olympic caliber athletes. And those two things are kind of coming together for you to get an up close and personal look at an Olympian doing his thing. Mm-hmm. So today's Daily's Double Take brought to you by The Dash. Stop in this morning, get you a couple of those piled high biscuits, breakfast, lunch, dinner. They got you covered. I was looking at the menu. I'm getting ready to do some more different promotions. And I was looking, and I think I counted yesterday 33 different sandwiches I could have ordered. Different, and I don't mean just, well, here's one without cheese. I mean 33 different, sandwiches and wraps and tacos. I mean, they got it all at the Dash. And man, here's the deal: quality. It's delicious. Fire, as he would say. So, the Scantling boys.
Yes.
Hunter Scantling was a baseball player. They went to FSU. Garrett Scantling is a track and field athlete, and he is right now preparing for the Olympic trials in Oregon. So I'm pretty sure Scantling made the Olympics. Somebody hit me up with that. I'm pretty sure he was in the Olympics already as a decathlete. I know he's been to the trials before, but anyway, the next couple of days at Bowls, he's going to literally go through the events. So like today at noon at Bowls, he'll do the 100-meter hurdles. At 12:15, he'll do the decathlon 100-meter. At 12:45, I guess he does the heptathlon too. He'll do the heptathlon high jump. At 1, the long jump. He goes to do some shot puts, high jump. And then tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the morning, he'll do it again. You got hurdles, discus, pole vault at 11. So I don't know. It sounds like kind of a cool thing.
That's pretty cool.
Or you got a kid who's in a track and field or a youngster, but you can check him out over there at the Bulls track, I'm assuming.
It's not every day you get to see an Olympian.
Yeah, he can set up. And so, cool. Good for them. That will be, that'd be a fun little thing to do there. All right, before we went to break, I mentioned that ESPN had a column, one move for every team to make.
Mm-hmm.
They put, I mean, I'm okay with this. It's not where I thought they would have gone. It's on the defensive line, which, based on kind of what we read, at least from PFF, would make sense, but it's not an interior. It would be another veteran edge rusher. I'm here for it. Let's go from 0 to 100 on that. We've had no veteran, presence at edge rusher. Let's double up. They've already signed Agba, and ESPN suggests they sign Jadeveon Clowney. Man, I swear 8 years in a row we've talked in this town about signing Jadeveon Clowney. At some point, every time that joker gets released or put on the trade block or he's in a holdout, he goes all the way back. Clowney, because he's the number 1 pick, is, bust-ish, but his overall career numbers aren't terrible. They're productive. He's just not, all-star Hall of Fame level. Here's what they say about the Jaguars and why they say they should sign Clowney. The Jags have a strong pair of starting edge rushers with Allen and Walker, but there are questions about the depth behind him. Emmanuel Agba's 32 years old, had just 5 sacks as a full-time starter last year. Miles Cole has no sacks on 11% of the defensive snaps as a rookie last year. Jags could also use a third strong edge rusher who can rotate with Hines, Allen, and Walker. There are numbers still on the market. I'm picking Clowney over Matthew Judon, Preston Smith, or Zadarius Smith because of his strength setting the edge on run plays makes him a good sub for Walker specifically. So there's at least one opinion on a move the Jaguars could or should potentially make.
I find this interesting. How many career sacks do you think Jadeveon Clowney has?
What year did he come in the league?
2014.
He's been in the league basically 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in 11 years, Jadeveon Clowney has 70 sacks.
58.
Only 58.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 70-ish, to be honest. We were talking about that. Yeah. I thought 7 a year, 6 a year. I'm basically less, 5 a year.
Yeah.
Has he had, did he have one double that? Did he get 10 exactly 1 year?
That's what I'm trying to find right now.
I'm not sure he's had a double-digit year.
Oh, that's unfortunate, Jadeveon.
And he's bounced now, man. I mean, he's played a lot of places, hasn't he?
Yes, he's bounced.
That's almost pop quiz, like where this joker is played now at this point.
Right.
Anyways, you know what that would be? 58 more than anybody else on our roster.
He's never had
9.5, was it?
He had 9.5 a couple of times.
Yeah, I thought he got close. I thought that was the was the stat on him. So anyway, RJ, fire the band. We got a football fix. I mean, I'm cheating on the home course. We're here at Magnolia today. They're getting a lot of love here, and they should. It'll be a fun day, but my bread's buttered, gang. You see me on the home course. I'll go to the other side of that. You're on that other side of that river over there. You feel me?
Shout out.
Home course, Julian Creek. Got that right. And by the Sharks on the road this week. And don't they have a bye week next week?
Next week, yeah.
They have a bye week, and then they're home for a couple of home games still left this year. So you can get your tickets at jacksharks.com. Always a good time. League not waiting around to get to any, courtroom decisions. Former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker's been suspended for the first 10 weeks of the season based off these allegations of improper massage behavior. I don't know, man. I think these jokers are naive. They go to one of these places that's one of those places, and then they think everywhere is like that. I mean, I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to be. I'm not even trying to be funny here.
Because those places do exist.
Yeah, they exist. Yeah. They exist. They're all over town. I've never been in one, but I know they are. Yeah, no, for real. People duck into some little, what they think is a normal massage and, get all kinds of offers before they're done. Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah, Robert Crafty.
Right. That's kind of wrong, to be honest. Man goes in, just needs his hamstring worked on. He comes home, he's a cheater.
That's crazy.
Oh, we can because we can. Tucker can serve the suspension as a free agent, and then would be free to sign with an NFL team. By the way, you'll see where the NFL. In other words, he's a free agent.
Yeah,
he's suspended, so I guess it'll just delay his.
That counts?
Well, I thought that same thing at first, but then I thought of it this way. That dude is going to be in a camp. He'd be in a camp. He'd be signed. He'd lose those 10 weeks. He's losing 10 weeks of pay either way, I guess is the point. So what purpose does it serve to, if he's to not impose the penalty if he wasn't a free agent? You see what I mean?
Yeah, because he would be signed.
He would be signed. He would have to serve the team game. Well, now they're really doing the teams the favor.
They are,
is what they're doing. They're allowing them to get inevitably, in 10 weeks, somebody's going to be desperate for a kicker, right? And then we'll see. Last I checked, Deshaun Watson remained in the league, right?
Yeah.
And he injured his way out. He certainly was able to bounce back from that and play in the league.
And while he was,
and his were much more scandalous and pointed than at least what we've seen from Tucker. Point being, I don't think an NFL team's not going to sign Justin Tucker because of this, are they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Although the Watson stuff came out more after Cleveland had signed. They'd already made the move, so they
already had that money. Yeah,
it's a perfect Cleveland scenario. They trade for a guy who ends up not being,
because they made the first year of his deal like $1 million or something.
It kind of just happened. All right, come for Kelsey, stay for Taylor. Kelsey's got that tight end get-together in Nashville, and so as a final little send-off, his gal pal strolled in with her guitar, and Taylor Swift may have busted out a few songs for the boys. Yeah, come for the tight end, stay for the Taylor. That's how that ended up working. Man, there's some celebrity in this country, man.
Oh, yeah.
And now that you can see every single thing that jokers do within 3 minutes, it's just out of control. It's going to get boring at some point.
You think?
I do. I think at some point we're going to look back at the social media era as silly. I really do. I'm not saying that instantaneous media isn't going to have value and continue to carry favor and value moving forward, but we are going to get to a point of everyone finally saying, I really don't care what you think, bro. I think. Won't be in my lifetime, I doubt. We'll say that. Continuing with a football fix here. All right. Where do you go if you want the cold, hard, dirty truth? You go to Vegas.
Okay.
You go to Vegas to find out who's going to do what, who should do what, and what teams really think about others. These are the odds to make the playoffs. Hot off the presses. From Las Vegas Envy. Who do you think has the best odds to make the postseason? If you bet, you bet $10 on this team, you'd only win $1.30 in return. So a $10 bet would only pay you $11. They are the overwhelming favorite to make. This is this isn't to win the division. This isn't to go. This is to make the playoffs.
The first instinct I say Philly, but their division is tough.
Is it?
Oh, well, Cowboys, Commanders,
Giants.
Yeah, is it?
Eagles are third.
Okay.
To your point, it's a little tougher.
Is it an AFC team?
It's an AFC team. The Eagles, by the way, are minus 400, so it's still terrible odds. You'd bet $10 to win $250.
Okay. Oh,
Two AFC teams are 1 and 2. Number one is minus 750. Like I said, you bet $10, they'd give you back $11.30 if you won your bet.
I'm going to say, is it KC? Kansas City?
KC is behind the Eagles. They're minus 380.
Hey.
Bet 10, win 12. It's the Bills. Minus 750.
You know what? That's fair. Just because I just think of it as
But people are talking the Patriots stuff. I guess the Jets are down and the Dolphins are probably holding the key to how tough that division is.
Mm-hmm. And they're just so good, the Bills.
Number two, this surprises me because this is a tough division. The Ravens.
In that division?
The Ravens, $10, you only win $11.82. Man, these aren't worth betting. All right, anyway, let's keep going down. These are the minus bets. In other words, these are favorites to make. If you don't know how gambling works, if you see the negative next to it, that's a favorite. In other words, if it says minus 175, you'd have to bet 175 just to win 100. If it says minus 750, to win $100 on the Bills, you'd have to bet $750. If you get to the plus bets, for instance, if you're plus 150, if you bet $100, you'd win $150 for $250 total. So, again, that's it for your gambling primer. If there's a negative in front of it, it's the minus. They're a favorite. You got to bet, you don't get the amount of money you bet. If they're got a plus, they're an underdog, and you get more than the amount of money you bet. So the minus bets end about halfway through the league at the Broncos at minus 120. So I would say these would be the 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 14 teams. I haven't looked if they're all 7 AFC, NFC. There are 14 teams that are favorites, betting favorites to make the playoffs. They're the Bills, Ravens, Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Niners. Again, this is the betting favorite. Niners, Bucks, Bengals, Commanders, Rams, Chargers, Texans are minus 135. Packers and Broncos. Then you get to the plus bets. Close but not quite. The Vikings are plus 115. Cardinals plus 130, Steelers plus 130, Patriots plus 130. Bears, Seahawks plus 150, still no Jags. Jags show up plus 155, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 10 from the bottom. So you're in that 14 to 22 range, which is about fair. They can certainly go above this, but right now, if you bet $100 on the Jags to make the playoffs, you'd win $255. The 100 you put in and the 155 they'll pay you back. Let me give you some teams around the Jaguars to give you an idea of public thought there. The Jags are plus one. The Bears are plus 150. Seahawks are plus 150. Falcons are 155. Dolphins are 155. Jags are 155. So viewed the same as the Falcons and the Dolphins. By the way, teams that they have better odds of making the playoffs. Better odds than the Cowboys, plus 180. Colts. And then some Panthers, Raiders, Titans, Jets, Saints, Giants, Browns, the bad teams.
Yep.
It's Football Fix. You're welcome. Brought to you by the Sharks. Go to jacksharks.com. Brought to you by the of course, other side of the river. Jointon Creek Golf Club. Hick and Arrival, more coming your way next. We are live on location. We're at Magnolia Point this morning for the E to the T Charity Golf Classic. So, gonna have a good time on a GFL Friday. Styrofoam will appear before halftime of today's program.
For sure.
Back with more next.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm Brad Keselowski.
Brad Keselowski. He wins.
And you're listening to 1010XL, Jack Sports Radio.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Grow your hair back. IHRS offers the latest technology in hair transplants and restorative treatments.
Fast, easy, and effective.
With over 35 years experience, our team is committed to delivering exceptional results. Hair restoration is for us, and it can be for you too.
See how IHRS technology can grow your hair back. Go to hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS, 777-4477 for $250 off.
Hey, Hicken here, and every Friday I'll help you put together your sports weekend so you know where you want to go and what you want to do. Watch for Musings with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook, locked down by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a fight for the last slice of pizza? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Prize, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, monster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily's Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily's Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barry Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarryOrthopedics.com.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Cordell and Cordell Lycon Services. The NBA draft wrapped up Thursday, and Florida's Elijah Martin is headed north. Selected 39th overall by the Toronto Raptors, the fellow backcourt mate Will Richards also heard his name called, going 56 to the Golden State Warriors. With college football season nearing, former Gator Chris Storing weighed in on DJ Lagway, calling the Florida QB the real deal.
You know, not only was he committed for a long period of time, didn't waver with his commitment. The most important characteristic of a quarterback is what he does to elevate the play of the other 10 guys in the huddle.
And on the diamond, Shane Batts dazzled, tossing 8 scoreless innings as the Rays blanked the Royals 4-0 for a sweep. Meanwhile, the Marlin mashed 2 home runs and crushed the Giants 12-5, completing their own 3-game sweep. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Currently 73 degrees at 7:07. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, back here on the drill. We're live at the Magnolia Point Golf and Country Club. It's a beautiful morning. Looking forward to a fun day out here. They've rolled out the red carpet. Some of the super early arrivals starting to show up. Tee time's 9:25 for the field, and then your eventual winners, that'd be the drill crew. We'll head out as soon as the show's over, but happy to pitch in. E.T. does a lot of charity work, man. It's a couple events over the course of the year, pitching in and helping out. And yeah, here he comes. He looks at me. Where's Dan? Come on, man. Come on. How long you ain't been here long enough to know?
He lost.
It's finally TPC. You know, those he can find, or Julington. He'd only be a few late, but it might be 8, bro. He could be in Palatka.
This guy, bro, is so bad.
Something, dude. It's something else.
Goodness.
I mean, it really is. It's amazing. I mean, no one knows it. I guess I'm BWR, I'm sure. Maybe Boy King, maybe his kids have some idea. No one knows more than me, though.
You're right.
Insane. I mean, I'm not kidding. We worked downtown for years. We couldn't go to the Chili's at Regency. We go every week, where do we go? So yeah, that should be fun. Be interesting what's going on out and about there. We'll be playing really good golf here today, championship level golf. I thought, man, we had a run going at 59 yesterday on PGA Tour. Man, it is a shock to the system after watching them struggle so much a couple of weeks ago to score at all at the U.S. Open. And yesterday at the Rocket, what do they call it? It used to be Rocket more. The Rocket Classic? What is it?
Yeah, I think it's just a Rocket Classic.
Yeah, the Rocket. Those scores were low. But remember this dude from early in the year? I remember him because of his name. Pot Geeter. Remember that dude? He's kind of a chuggy. Pot Geeter. He hits it further than anyone. He drives it longer than Rory. It's like 330 yards. I thought we were on like 56 watts for a bit yesterday. Because when I turned on the golf there in the early afternoon, Pot Geeter was like 8 under through 10. I mean, it was like on an incredible pace. I mean, he only had to make like another 4 birdies in his last 8 holes, and he would have broken 60. Which, gosh, was such a big deal 30, 40 years ago. Now that number of golfers that have broken 60 in sanctioned events has grown and grown. It still, though, has a charm to it, and it looked like Pot Geeter was going to make a run at it. Ultimately, he, quote, slowed down. He ended up sharing the course record with another guy. The big names are not at the very top, but it should be an interesting weekend because there aren't sturdy enough names to make the Pot Geeters of the world a little bit nervous. NBA draft last night, the second round. I think Gators are landing in good spots. You have Walter Clayton. We talked about him, and there's a vacancy there in that Utah backcourt. Will Richardson landing with Golden State sounds like about the best possible place we could go. Holy hockey sticks! What is? And Elijah Martin fits anywhere, doesn't he? You put him on any backcourt as the 6th, 7th, or 8th man, and his style of play is going to translate. All right, RJ. Better late than never.
Ladies and gents, please put your hands together as Dan Hicken enters the studio.
I hear him upstairs.
I have to shift gears here. I know that. It's a major faux pas. There's only some traditions that must stay tried and true on the drill. No matter who's pushing the buttons. No matter when it happens. No matter where we are. No matter how it goes. On Friday at 7 o'clock, at 7:05. Maybe at 7:10. Maybe at whatever time it is. When Dan Hicken enters the studio, there's only one thing and one thing only.
That hand's being dropped heavy, and
that must be played.
It ain't being caught.
It's got to be being caught.
I don't know.
No?
I wonder.
No?
Not positive.
Or he's in a
there's
sweaty mess searching.
There's about 60,000 on the road this morning that know exactly what you're talking about.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
See, about 60K know exactly what you're referring to.
Quite frankly, and this is nothing against.
You're not going to say another thing until it happens.
Not another damn word.
All right, E.T., we're going radio silent. Until your side of this industry gets stuff straightened out.
I don't know how this could happen.
And I know you're busy today, but Dan right now is
not on you.
It's to the front.
It's not on anyone. It's just a simple question.
Boxes were not checked. I still think we got obliviousness.
As soon as the jingle began, E to the T time immediately was texting.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a man right now rolling his eyes, scowling back in the studio.
No. Let it rip. Let it rip.
Oh, my.
Oh, we're just starting here.
No.
Woo! Sweet Friday. Hey. Oh. Take it Friday.
Looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the best.
Well,
but the school's out, so the we'll
okay.
The jingle.
Yeah, I'm fine with it either way. To be honest.
I apologize to the Googans who did not want to hear this song because I didn't either.
They'll come at you.
You got to keep your head in the game, RJ.
You got to be head on a swivel, bro.
I know you become a big star at 1010XL. I know that you're now, sort of a legendary host and such.
Not even close.
You don't have time for the certain things that have to happen, but dadgummit, man. When it's Friday, I mean, this is what 1010XL was built on.
When you said it,
you know that check you get every 2 weeks, RJ?
I know it.
That says pay to the order of.
It also
You know why that happens?
Because
of Friday. Because of damn Friday. So
when you said it, Dan, I'm like, oh no, he wants me to play the song. Oh no, again.
Oh, the boys are. This is now they've gone to. I'm not advocating for you to be fired either, RJ.
Yeah, be careful.
That's what they're all screaming.
You do hold my future in your hands, so I'm always.
At least here I do. Yeah.
Wow.
Continue to.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah. Continue to have you grow and mature as a host and bring your NBA knowledge. I've got an NBA question here.
That's a cool little sign. You see what they call the cart sign there?
What?
The bartender.
The bartender.
Get it?
Yeah. Gosh, I haven't been out here in a long time. It's amazing how as life goes by, have
you at least determined that, yes, you have been here before?
I have been here before.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you had.
But it's been a long... Somebody's swimming. Someone's getting their laps in.
I wouldn't mind taking a little dip. I'm not scared.
I'm definitely hitting the pool today.
Well, they're doing it for exercise.
I don't know what's going to happen. Once we get 18 holes in this sun and we get these jokers in here for the reception, there may be more than one jumping in the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
I've determined one thing about the NBA.
Oh, boy.
It takes a PhD in finance to navigate these rules, and every year we get like a new term in terms of the NBA and the
super
salaries.
tax, luxury tax.
Yeah, the new one this year is second apron.
Yeah, the second apron.
The second apron.
That's right.
RJ, would you explain the second apron, please?
I couldn't tell you if you had a gun in my head what the second
Really?
apron is
Okay.
about.
All right.
It's just another level of that salary cap that if you go there,
Yeah. I know you got to avoid the second apron.
No, you don't. Yeah, if you're like the Memphis
Celtics.
Grizzlies.
That's why the Celtics are doing all that they're doing to avoid the second apron.
That's they don't want to spend the money, but you don't have to if you want to spend the. If you see, that's where, like we said this, and it was kind of erroneous. Because if the new Lakers owners, the Dodger owner, really, really does want to say, I don't care about any taxes, this, that, or the other, and just wants to spend, I think that theoretically you still can outspend everyone 2-1 in the NBA, but you pay such a tax that no one will do it.
Is that what it is?
I think. So, that being said,
what time do we get behind the bar and start doing shots?
That question has come up.
Also, I'd like to make a prediction.
Oh, boy.
For all the golfers who are coming out here to the E to the Tea Time Charity Golf Classic, brought to you by Emmanuel Thalleran. you best bring your A game because our team, the Hick and Prosser team,
we're going low.
Are going real low.
We're going low.
Like we saw what the numbers were last year.
Yeah, we can't get there. That's 46 is you can't get there with no mulligans. No mulligans this year.
No mulligans.
No mulligans, no throws.
I'd say 50 is your number. Though.
I would say 20. I'd say 20 under. I'd say 52.
Who's your guest golfer? Is it Kenny?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
I would say 52. I would say I will give you 20 under, but you got to play perfect to do that.
Yeah.
If you come in with less than that, I don't believe.
Do we have 4 par 5s on this baby?
Yes, we do.
All right, so 4 eagles and 14 birdies gets us what? 22 under?
Yeah. I just don't know.
That's our 50.
That would be 50.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Let it be known.
Well, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to echo your prediction, but I'm okay with it.
I'm echoing it. In fact, I'm guaranteeing it.
Wow.
Because you know why?
Why?
I'm keeping score.
Okay.
And you know what else?
That means you control it.
You know what else? I'm shady.
Oh, no integrity.
None.
Oh, dear.
Please stand up. Please stand up.
None. Just let you guys know. It's happening today. And when we bring that 50 in and you boo us, we don't care. Because I'm taking that trophy.
Wow.
I saw the trophy.
Did you see it?
You showed it to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not an advocate for cheating our way to the title, but we can win our way there. The 46 was what was ridiculous last year, and so some hard questions for last year's winner.
Some hard feelings.
They're returning.
Yeah.
They're coming back?
I don't know how you can, in good conscience, write 46. I don't care if it's a 12-man scramble. You can only go so low. If you do the math on what a 46 actually is, that's eagling every part with no handicap.
Yeah.
It's eagling all of the par 5s, okay? And then it's eagling 4 of the par 4s. So you either drove 4 par 4 greens or you threw it in from 100 yards on 4 par 4s.
Threw it right in the hole.
That's right. So you're saying you birdied every hole except for 8 eagles that you made. 4 par 5s and par 4. I don't believe that. I'm sorry.
It's not possible.
Get in the hole.
Yeah, I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to accuse you of anything. I'm just going to say I don't believe that.
And I like also the fact that we'll be going off a little bit later than everybody else, so they'll have to wait when we walk into the victoriously
into the arena.
Right.
You really have put your gladiator face on for today's festivities.
I'm not playing.
What do you mean you're not playing? Oh, you're not playing. You're not messing around.
I'm not messing around.
Yeah, because I was going to say you look like you're playing.
I am playing.
Yeah.
I am playing. I'm still battling a stomach bug virus. I had some soup for dinner last night. Soup.
I got something down.
Yeah,
told me yesterday he had fries. I didn't know if that was the right choice to go right in.
My dog had some soup.
He went right in with fries, though. First thing he did was a large fry.
At lunch, I had fries.
Yeah.
You're
getting it back.
Fries are good.
I was like, I need something. I said, I'm going to get me some McDonald's fries.
I'm ready. I'm hungry.
So I got some McDonald's fries.
It's making me hungry. When's the food coming? I got
you.
And then I went and got some soup for dinner. I had
chicken noodle?
Chunky chicken noodle.
Where did that?
It was
like
already
canned.
Yeah, it was canned. And the problem with the only problem was, and this
also salty. That's canned.
Not a bit.
Oh,
but this is the issue. I burned my tongue.
I do that all the time.
Son of a gun.
Mrs. P made some of that chocolate chess pie yesterday. Et. And I didn't wait, and I ruined it. I didn't wait long. I didn't let it set long enough. I didn't let it cool down long enough. I had to go rush it in. It was out of the oven. It was still hot. It was still way too warm.
Yeah.
So it was just a big error on my part. It burned my mouth, and it wasn't as good because I didn't let it firm up and settle.
Yeah. Once you get that burn, it's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
Done.
And it's just not, like I said, that's a pie that needs to sit and settle for its consistency.
Let the pie sit.
Let it sit.
Let it settle.
Let the boy be your dog.
Let it get its substance about it.
Well, yeah.
And then,
something to be.
we got a lot to do today, a lot to talk about.
That's not true.
That is.
I'm killing time for 2 hours, and I'm golfing.
I've got a Dream Finders
That's what we're bringing.
Homes poll question of the day, brought to you by our friends at Dream Finders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the PGA Tour, and the Florida Gators. Right now, you can get a fixed 4.99% fixed interest rate at some various move-in ready homes throughout Jacksonville at 15 different locations.
15 of them things.
Oh, now you're on.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
15 of them. And all you got to do, by the way, first-time homers. I was looking through the DreamFindersHomes.com site the other day because I want my daughter to get into a house.
Nice.
But she's not in a hurry. They're living in a condo.
I thought you were looking for box seats.
And I suggested to her Dream Finders, and there's all kinds of locations. So she said she would take
different locations.
She would take a look at that.
But anyway, with that said, it was a simple question, and I thought it's a good time. We're at like the halfway point of the baseball season. Who's the best player in baseball? And I only came up with 2. Because you can make arguments for others, but ultimately it's Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, still. Just like last year.
The big dumper guy, ain't he playing good baseball?
He's playing great, big dumper, but I can't say the big dumper is better than Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge.
Nor is he.
Acuna, if he had played the whole year, he'd be on the list.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dumb question, sorry.
Juan Soto, great player, but
not that level.
Not quite there.
So it's just them 2.
It's those 2, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's Ohtani is still the answer because he, even though. Man, there should be there should be an
Ohtani has as many home runs as Judge, and now he's pitching.
There should be an MLB MVP.
You think?
Or something. There should be something to differentiate between the best player in each league. I want to, because I just think it would be the best player in all the game.
Okay.
Rather than just one of the leagues.
Well, I make it really hard to win then.
It's
already hard to win.
Well, here's what I say though, Dan. In fact, just one MVP total. Forget a third award. There's no AL and ML MVP. There's an MVP. And you couldn't do that because the way the leagues have played each other. But now they play everybody. Yeah. It would be fair to do it that way if you wanted to. Now I don't think they will. You're not going to end that tradition. You want to be able to win a league MVP in the years that you wouldn't win the overall, I guess. Yeah. But like I just learned this week about that platinum glove. Never heard of it. Forever. I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah.
But the Gold Glove winners, there's one who's the best defender of all the positions. You're not sure you believe it.
I'm not sure I believe it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not sure I believe it.
Maybe it's just something someone coined based on the percentages. Let me look it up right here.
I'm
Platinum Glove, the big dumper.
You killed one of my pitchers last night.
Yeah, that wasn't even us.
Achilles.
Yeah, I don't even know how. That was weird. He did. He barely, he barely moved.
Braves killed him.
The Mets through the years have stepped on my pitchers. They've lined it off their head.
They got Timmy Hudson one year.
I mean, they get them all, bro. So I'm glad. That's a former Brave, too. Just see you never, by the way. That was a nice Mets career. I'd probably do it for him.
Oh, yeah.
He's already a veteran. He's having a career year. That was pitching good last night.
Yeah.
We can't get a hit, though. Again, early in the game, we got runners on all over the damn place. You can't ever get a hit that matters.
Yeah, it was
annoying. Whatever.
It was a gutsy win by the Mets.
Sure.
I was proud of them.
Gritty. You had the right team for it, buddy.
And don't you think that
you had the right opponent for it. If anybody can lay down for you and give you a couple, it'd be those low T's.
Big game Drew won again, so
good for him.
He got me a couple dubs.
Did he claim the victory?
He should.
But most importantly, it was bucket hat night, and I want to know if he got me a bucket hat.
A Mets bucket hat.
And he also,
you're kind of a bucket hat guy.
You'll enjoy this story. So Big Game Drew went with a couple of his buddies who live up there. Some Jacksonville kids. They're not kids; they're all 30 now, whatever.
Sorry.
He goes up there, and so one of them is a Yankee fan, according to Drew, somewhat of a Yankee fan, more so adopted, so he picked the Yankees instead of the Mets. So Drew gave him the Soto jersey to wear, and so he had a Yankee hat on with it turned backwards. And so normally, now like I told him, I said, well, that's fair game. If you're wearing a Yankee hat and you got
this is his buddy wearing it?
Yeah, and you're walking into City.
Is he a Yankee fan?
Yeah. But if you're walking into City, man, you're gonna catch some hell.
Is that 2 different teams?
Yeah,
Yankees and Mets.
What?
Yeah, it's like two hated. We hate them.
Yeah,
they hate us.
Okay.
Or they say they don't hate us because we're a little brother, which is fine. Anyway, but so this guy starts going at the guy, and of course Drew.
Drew ain't going for that.
But the problem was the guy who was going at the guy was all Yankeed up.
Why was he going at a Yankee?
I don't know. And so he wanted an explanation, and Drew told him, get the hell out of my house, because it's City Field.
Yeah.
In your Yankee gear, the Yankees ain't playing here tonight, boy. So.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
But his own buddy was in Yankee gear.
End of the story is Drew spent the night in jail. No, he didn't. I'm just kidding. Kidding. All's well.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
The Rawlings Platinum Glove Award recognizes the best defensive player in each league from among the winners of the Rawlings Gold Glove Awards.
Wow. That's crazy.
Only the winners of the annual Gold Glove Awards, one for each position in both the American and National Leagues, are eligible for the Platinum Glove in each league.
Oh, we got to take a break, bro. We're way over.
Are we?
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling here.
Good.
Champions.
Just trying to get it to 950, buddy.
Well,
just trying to get to 950.
We can't go commercial free.
Get that driver in my hand. Let's go.
Oh, let her
I'm going low. My game's good right now. We're going low.
I know.
Yeah.
I said that.
Okay.
This is the drill on 1010XL.
GFL Friday.
5 FM.
Downtime with Dan is serviced by the local family-owned company for home comfort and your statewide mechanical partner for the biggest projects, Lloyd's Heating and Air.
I will say this about the NBA draft. if there is a loser in the NBA draft, I'm going to award it to the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets had 5 first-round picks, and from what I'm reading and understanding, a couple of them might not even make the team. I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish. So the next time you hear, hey, why did we trade 4 first-rounders for so-and-so? The answer is look at what the Brooklyn Nets did in 2025. I think that will provide you your answer. It made no sense, and it doesn't get them any closer. If you get a bunch of picks and stockpile them, you have to package them for said proven player. That's how it works in the NBA.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
You can find 1010XL on any social media platform. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. At 1010XL.
As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC expert, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Where does Northeast Florida buy cars? Arlington Toyota. Why Arlington? Selection. Arlington has over 800 new and used vehicles all in one location with everyday low prices. Plus, right now you choose a pre-owned 2023 Camry, RAV4, Tacoma for $0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till January 2026? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter-mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Jacksonville, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Mia here, and I love my custom closet from Closets by Design. With summer in full swing, having my warm weather wardrobe front and center is a game changer. No more digging for the right outfit on a hot day. If your home needs a summer refresh, whether that be a closet, a garage, or a pantry, schedule a free in-home consultation with Closets by Design. And the offer has been extended, folks. Receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. And free installation on any order of $750 or more. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
Man, I can't wait for Saturday. I'm going to the Jacksonville Axemen Rugby League game. They're playing the Southwest Florida Copperheads, and it's gonna be good.
Rugby league is crazy. No pads or helmets. No, that's a real contact sport. Count me in.
Join the ratified credit union Jacksonville Axemen as they take on the Copperheads at the UNF Turf Field tomorrow night at 7. Tickets start at $10 and kids under 12 are free at jacksax.com.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious?
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
1010XL is a proud supporter of this year's Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament, the largest fundraiser for marine charities. To join the fun July 10th through 19th at the Jim King Park and Boat Ramp, go to kingfishtournament.com.
The 2025 season schedule has dropped, and single-game tickets are on sale now. Be at the bank to watch Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars take on the biggest names in the NFL. Don't miss your favorite matchup and secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. See you this fall, Jags fans.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision. I love it.
Hey, Jacksonville, Hicken here with a game changer. Look, I've tested the field, and I got a winner. It's Checkmate Coatings. And Checkmate Coatings, keyword there is coatings. That's my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results. And they'll coat anything, right? They can coat your garage. Start there, man. You change your garage, it is a game changer. Like I said, it is a game changer. They will coat your patio, your pool deck, your driveway, whatever you want, they can do. And Brendan's the owner. He's an awesome guy, man. Brendan's a local dude, understands floor coatings, understands the chemistry of it, can sit there and talk with you. He's got Jacksonville crews keeping prices low with no massive overhead. So here's what I tell you. Just check them out. Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings. It's your floor's missing piece.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, Underwoods has sold fine quality diamonds for a long time. Why is that important?
Frank, if you drew a line with the poorest diamonds with the lowest prices to the left and the highest quality to the right, our diamonds are at the far right end. Now, once we know the weight, the grading factors of cut, color, and clarity have to be considered. And the one that's talked about the least, but it's the most important to us, is the diamond's cut grade, because it has a huge implication on both the price and the beauty, and thus the value. I've bought diamonds for Underwoods for over 30 years, so I know what's out there, and the cut grade's just not important to most diamond sellers. That's really been the Underwood difference, because beautifully cut diamonds result in the most important thing they can do. They bring a joy of owning and wearing a diamond, not just today, but tomorrow and into the future. That's why it's important to us.
And it should be to you too, because nothing brings more joy than a diamond from Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra since 1928.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local woman-owned solar company. Did you hear? JEA is raising rates again. With summer right around the corner, those power bills are only going to go up. But with solar, you can take control of energy costs and say goodbye to rising rates. At Clay Solar, we make switching easy and affordable. Stop paying more for power and own it. Visit claysolar.com to schedule a consultation today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. And now, let's light up the Firehouse Subs 10-minute drill.
Yeah, we got sports concepts and rationalizations, Pross, at the end of the 10-minute drill, which is sports concepts and rationalizations. We will hand out a prize pack. He says it's razzle dazzle. RJ, what do you say it is?
I call it whatever it needs to be called, because we call it here the 10-minute drill. We have a bag of goodies for you guys on this Friday. A pair of voucher tickets to the Jumbo Shrimp at VyStar Ballpark. The Shrimp are facing Nashville this week in a 6-game series. You have an opportunity to watch them live. 641-1010 at the end of the 10-minute drill, and we will hook you up.
That's right. That's right. So, I saw Chaz Lanier got drafted last night.
There was a little local burst.
Yeah.
It was Martin, Lanier, Jameer Watkins from FSU, and then Will Richard. Yeah. I was probably ecstatic. And Richard is another who would not have been drafted last year. Right now he'd be playing in, Greece or the D-League, which he may ultimately be, but he would not have been drafted a year ago, and he stayed, and his game got better. He added some versatility to it, and got even better with the three-pointer. I think Golden State's a nice spot. It seemed to me like the Gators landed in good spots.
Yeah.
They landed like the good place for them. Will Richard the Warriors would be a good system for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know
who wasn't drafted, which surprises me?
Yeah, the Sears. Is that the one?
Him is one, yeah.
Yeah, that's surprising. He was not drafted.
Hunter Dickinson.
Also not drafted.
Not drafted. That's a big 7-footer.
Caleb Love.
I saw and I don't know who the experts are, but
the guards. It's hard. The little men did not fare well.
First round, all fresh,
18 freshmen.
Second round, none.
First time.
Isn't that weird?
No.
And then the Gavoni guy said that the NIL has affected the draft, and that so many dudes, even Euros, get these $2 or $3 million offers to go play in the SEC Big 12 for a year. So those guys, instead of knowing you're a second rounder, say, okay, because second rounder, whatever. So I'll go take the guaranteed $3 million, play a year, and then see what happens.
It's almost been, when it comes to basketball and the viability of your college program, you've almost exchanged one problem for the next.
Yeah.
And it used to be you were worried about the early entries.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to bring a guy if he's only going to stay, he's going to be gone after a freshman?
Right.
Well, now you have the enticement to keep him around a little. Not if you're the superstar, but, you know, the Clayton level, the Sears level. You can keep the Lanier. You can keep him around for another year, and they can get paid.
Right.
But on the other side, you also have to deal with other people coming and paying your guys. So it's like you traded the one problem of, you know, I will say this, and this became pretty clear with Todd Golden and the Gators when he came. And I don't know if I want to give the credit to Strickland that he knew this about Golden.
Mm-hmm.
But he came just as college basketball was ready to make a big change. And the portal and the NIL were about to become a big deal for everyone. But guess what, Hick? For those teams out west, San Francisco, Santa Clara, Fresno, San Diego State, Gonzaga, Long Beach State, they were ahead of the game on having international players.
Yes.
And having transfers from other places. So, listen, I didn't think it was possible to build the kind of chemistry and cohesiveness that Golden built with that team that won it that quickly. Those guys weren't together but a couple of years at most, and they that speaks a lot about your coach.
Second time Florida's had 3+ players taken. They had 5 in 2007. It was the 6th time UF had multiple players taken. The first since 21, 11, 7, 84, and 2000. Third time UF had 2 top 40 selections. And that's just some notes from the.
And really, they would have. I believing as it played out, I bet you. I bet you Condon would have been drafted.
In the downtime, I talked about the Brooklyn Nets. Their starting lineup this year might be something like this: Nolan Traore, Ben Saraf, Drake Powell, Lagore, Demon, and Danny Wolf. This team would have lost in the second round of the NIT.
I don't.
No, those are their draft picks.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no part of me that believes that's.
No.
The kid from BYU could play right away.
Yeah.
That might
Igor,
be.
Igor, whatever.
Yeah. I did. What I read about them is that they, for the most part of the 5 picks, I think they had another one in the second round, or maybe that one was traded. But anyway, they're all projects.
Yeah.
And 2 of them, were like you said, were like Euros that may never play here. It was weird.
Right.
But to your point, if you're going to do all those deals, then try and get more out of them.
Yeah.
But the draft is just so. Doesn't matter the sport. You know what's getting kind of tired?
What?
Reading the story about how your team could have drafted so and so 4 years ago, and you really had a need then, and you still have a need now. And I mean, it's fair, but it's like that's even the good teams you can say that.
One of the points I liked that was made last night by the Myers dude was, look, you know, I did this for a living. It's not perfect, and all of us experts up here, we're missing on some guy. And he said, like, Shai Gilgeous was the 11th pick. The 11th pick in the NBA draft. He's the NBA MVP, the Finals MVP, and the leading scorer in the league. He was the 11th pick in the draft. So, and then he got traded, right?
Yeah, he was traded.
So,
it was Paul George. They had Paul George all over those finals. He built both those teams for him.
Yeah.
Paul George got him Halliburton. Paul George got them Shai Gilgeous.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul.
9 of the 10 starters in the finals, 9 of the 10 were taken outside of the top 10. Chet Holmgren, the only one in the top 10 pick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good players. Siakam.
And by the way, he's kind of a disappointment to me. He might get better. But
I mean,
I saw him at the parade. Man, that dude is skinny.
Man, those legs are tiny. He's not going to be their second lead scorer, but he is a very, very good, important, productive player for them. They wouldn't have won without him. And him staying healthy all year was a big advantage.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Here's an example of what we're talking about going back after the fact. But you find a player like, and this is curious timing to write this column, in fact, because now the receiver position feels pretty good with Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. But Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, God.
17th receiver taken back in 2021.
Yeah.
How do they miss so bad, man?
It's hard. I mean, it's just Amon-Ra is a little dude, right? He's not big. That's my perception.
Yeah.
He's probably shifty, but he probably wasn't fat. He probably didn't burn a 40. I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, I don't even want to know how many picks we took before him.
We can do that forever.
Exactly, and you could do it just about
every year.
You could do it for just about anywhere.
Every year.
The one, to me, like the college versus pro, I don't think it's an argument. the fandom of it and those who find one, superior to the other. And the NFL's argument always is every week in our games, for the most part, you don't even know who's going to win the game.
Right.
But the college football argument can be, but we got 10 games that matter more than any 10 regular season games that will matter more than any regular season game you ever play. And we're not even going to get into the 100-year rivalries and all those other aspects of college football. So as a background, I was looking at, at the end of the day, this is kind of like we've talked about with the Jags. When we get to December, can we just see our name in the hunt?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we need.
Well, this is a similar. These are the biggest games. I think there were 10 that could define the 2025 college football season.
Okay.
You want your team to be in one of those games. None of these games that impact the season are going to involve one really good team and one meh team. Every one of these games you're about to list, the spoiler alert, Alabama, Georgia.
Okay.
Right? Spoiler alert, Notre Dame, Miami. Here we go. I bodes well. First game listed September 13th. Florida at LSU.
Let's go.
Again, the title here, Pivot Points, the games that could define the 2025 college football season.
Let's do it.
About Florida LSU, this is a guaranteed meltdown game. No matter the result, the losing team's fan base will lose its mind. That's fair. Fans of both these teams expect CFP contention. The difficulty of the remaining schedules, the loser of this game might not be able to achieve that. That speaks to some of that urgency that we talked about yesterday for both Florida and Miami in early season games. Of course, the week after Florida visits Death Valley, they play at Miami. And then after an open date, it's Texas A&M back-to-back. What a murderer's row. Illinois at Indiana, and there goes the column. Put that on the shirt. It's a dumb list. Illinois and Indiana. Yeah.
That's a big game.
It's not a big game ever. It's a big game for some oaken bucket or some
if Illinois
the wooden harmonica or whatever.
Illinois has
they
expectations.
Yeah.
Indiana was there last year, so I could see that being a big game.
Yeah.
And I don't know their team schedules.
Another big one? But let me give you another one. SMU Miami.
Stop. Such a snob.
Indiana lost 41-7, boss.
Huh?
Didn't Indiana lose 41-7 in their game? Or was that SMU that lost like that? Whatever it was, Indiana proved real quick. They had no business ever being. And I had to watch that condescending coach speak down his nose like he's the college football expert. Just Google me. Get out of here.
Oh, dear.
All right, Auburn and Oklahoma. I see what they're doing here. They're not giving us the no-brainers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're giving us some. Okay, there's some teams that may have some hope, but if they don't win this one, they're done. They put LSU, Florida, Auburn, Oklahoma, Indiana, Illinois, I'm assuming all in the same category. Texas Tech, Utah. A lot around Texas Tech because they spent all that money.
Yeah.
Oregon, Penn State, I'd say bigger boys. Alabama, Georgia. I guess they're just going to put them in the category of the big ones. Alabama, Georgia, September game this year. Boise at Notre Dame. Why do I feel like Boise's just... It's the Genty show, bro.
It was.
Yeah, you're going to be 8
anymore.
You're going to be 8-4. See you later. Michigan at USC.
Yeah, I don't think either of those have.
Louisville at Miami. Yeah, I could come up with a better list than this. Nebraska at I give up. What Big Ten Stan wrote this? Nebraska at Minnesota. Big game.
Did it?
For what?
Dumbasso?
No. This is on 3. So one of your guys, one of your colleagues.
Better than that.
Normally they are. Let's see. It is the author here is one.
Fifth Pocoroba. I knew it.
No, it's not. It's It's Andy Staples.
Wow.
That's surprising. Is Staples the former Gator player?
Yeah.
Walk on.
Sort of. Yeah.
He was SI, right, for a long time.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's give out those ticks. Let's take a break.
Yeah, we got to get back on schedule here at some point.
Yeah, we're live out here at beautiful
Magnolia Point Golf and Country Club, and nestled in Green Cove Springs. It's a beautiful sunrise rising above us.
As I was driving out here, I was reminded that two of my favorite people, the Reverend J. Graham Spurrier, used to live out here with his wife.
Yes, he did.
When Steve was
in Magnolia Point?
In Green Cove.
Yeah.
When Steve was first hired, and I remember running by their house, they were very sweet people.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
I knew they were Green Cove. I didn't know if they actually lived inside of here. This is a nice little peaceful little area, isn't it? We got a lot of those on the First Coast.
Going to see a club record today is what it's going to do.
All right, it's a GFL Friday. That's Green for Life, or we're going freaking low. Whatever you want it to be today. There you have it. Back with more next.
641-1010. I got a pair of tickets for you to see the Jumbo Shrimp at VyStar Ballpark. The Shrimp are facing Nashville this week in a 6-game series. 641-1010 is the winning number, and we'll hit you up right here on the drill.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
My plan is to adopt a new style, a combination that requires the highest level of conditioning, speed, creativity, most of all,
1010XL.
Growing up in Jacksonville, I always associated Beards with an elevated experience, something that isn't your big box store.
Dr. Aryan Afshari talking about his experience at Beards Diamonds.
Every single time I've walked into Beards, I have felt confident. I have felt like I've been guided down the right path. I feel like no one is there to take my money and that they all have my best interest in mind.
When Dr. Afshari went into Beards Diamonds for his engagement ring, he was blown away by the selection.
We walked into Beards, they showed us a massive array of diamonds, of bands.
But they helped him narrow it down and even offered to customize a designer setting for a one-of-a-kind ring.
I showed them some inspirations, and they really kind of knocked it out of the park. I think Megan still has the best ring out of all her friends.
Beards Diamonds. Unbeatable selection, direct importer prices, designer rings, no commission salespeople, and local owners.
I wanted something meaningful, and that's what I found at Beards.
Get the value and luxury experience you deserve. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Born in Jacksonville, raised on Southern Rock, and coming home to the Florida Theater, it's Molly Hatchet. Saturday, June 28th. Get your fill of Southern Rock fury. I'm going back to the Gators country. Grab your seat at floridatheater.com. It's a hometown homecoming with Molly Hatchet.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
This 4th of July, Navy Mutual would like to salute Joe DiMaggio as our hero in sports. Nicknamed the Yankee Clipper, you know Joe for his record 56-game hitting streak that may never be touched. But he was also a sergeant during World War II.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatrice here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatrice Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do, and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatrice Plumbing, here to help.
Put the ball in the net with 60 minutes of soccer talk. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Ticket here with lots more on George Moore Chevrolet. Hey, Justin Moore, what are you doing in our commercial?
Dan, this Moore just wanted to remind folks of vehicles less than $20,000 on our lot. Or you can always go more with our Silverado EV.
I have my boy Blue, that beautiful Gator Blue Silverado. Love, love, love it. And that service department, second to none. Let's just say it means more to Gabe and the boys who take great care of us.
Not to mention, we do more for the community. We love Jacksonville. Been around these parts since 1986.
George Moore Chevrolet. Need I say more?
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frank Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You can feel it.
All right, welcome back. We're live at Magnolia Point for the E to the T Charity Golf Classic. E does such a great job with this. Had a great time last year. This is the second now annual. Once you do second, it's annual.
That's correct.
And so
it's big.
We're excited to be here. I saw this article yesterday. I thought this was interesting. I wanted to talk about it for just a second. It's about the NIL and how it relates, especially in football. And you'll give me just a second here to call this thing up. But Florida State's revenue-sharing contract drafts have drawn sharp criticism from those in the NIL space, according to CBS Sports. Some unusual stipulations, FSU's ability to extend a contract at the same rate throughout an athlete's eligibility window, a lack of protection from football-related injuries. That's not normal, a source said. So as college football races towards the start of the revenue-sharing era on July 1st, a new battle is unfolding, not on the field but in the fine print. Schools and players' agents are clashing behind the scenes over the language of contracts. Some universities are pushing aggressive terms that raise eyebrows across the industry. While some players receive front-loaded payments ahead of July 1st, many are now encountering multi-page agreements drafted by school lawyers. And so we're back into this, you know.
So we're now was supposed to clear it all up and take away any arguments, and now we're going to get into offset language. Yes. So now, and here's what's wrong about that, too.
He says, put another way, by an NIL agent, which, by the way, they're shady, too.
Of course
These
they are.
NIL agents. They're throwing everything they can and the kitchen sink. That sink, it appears quite often in Tallahassee. According to multiple agent sources who have at least one player on the FSU roster, the Noles have included what those agents describe as an aggressive language in their rev share contracts, which cover a broad range of issues and are directed by the school. One clause allows the team to extend a player at the end of their contract unilaterally without having to negotiate with the player. Another section on team rules, common in most NIL deals, includes a maximum $2,500 fine on the first offense if a player loses team equipment, such as a pair of cleats.
Try to get some of that money back.
The max fine for using a controlled substance for the first time. You tested positive for weed, $1,000. It's so weird, man.
But they want all that. You can't have one and not the other.
Yeah.
The whole thing is ridiculous. To treat 18-year-olds like they're ready to go professionally into the job market, it's just stupid, dude.
Stupid.
It's dumb. Shame on everyone. Shame on all y'all. Y'all are a bunch of dummies. You know what? And this insinuation that you're owed anything as you leave adolescence is ridiculous. Now, once they go to college football, and then you decide that, well, just, getting the college scholarship and a little bit of scratch isn't worth it, where do you can't argue with those people that say it's not enough.
FSU is going about this far more aggressively than any school I've seen. I'm disappointed by the adversarial nature of these contracts.
I think they're protecting themselves, Dan, to keep you give them all, and then the player last second saying, I'm going here. I mean, I get it. They're trying. FSU is the bad guy here, but they're trying to put some Okay, we're going to pay you this, but guess what? You're not leaving next year. That's what these need to be. They need to be, and I'm going to be honest. If I'm paying an 18-year-old, I don't give a damn if he stays for a year and I cut him. I don't. You want to be a pro, we're going to be a pro. You sign a 4-year contract, and the only way you get out is if we cut you.
Yeah. They talked to some the general managers of the Power Fives now, and that's not normal. About FSU's 3 stipulations above. So I don't think FSU said another though is the worst at all in this business. There are schools that I trust less. Florida State says as we enter a new age, just in a statement they released, and obviously you got to act right away because now you'll get panicked. Oh my God, we're not going to get the kids. As we enter into a new age of collegiate athletics, FSU has put together an agreement that provides deliverables and expectations for all parties. Each individual situation will be unique, and the hypotheticals, like they should be fining Castellanos for talking.
Well, at the end of the day, there's this. That's all noble. Yeah. But it also may leave you a perennial 5-7 football team.
Right.
Because there are going to be teams in your conference that are going to. What if one day Cal wakes up and decides, you know what?
Well, it's like Texas Tech. That dude got all that money, and they're 12. Just like, all right, let's go.
But I don't bring them up because they're not ACC. But that's the exact same point. One day somebody is going to wake up at Cal or Stanford or SMU or Virginia Tech or Virginia or North Carolina or Duke or Wake Forest or NC State or Miami or Clemson. Somebody's going to wake up and say, all right, here it is. Here's $20 million. Some billionaires can say, here's $20 million a year. Go get the 10 best players every year. What's to keep college football from becoming that? I mean, ultimately, they're going to be owned like owners. There's still no salary cap, Hick. There's revenue sharing where the schools themselves will have money to divvy up. But I can come in tomorrow and tell DJ Lagway, hey, DJ, man, I really appreciate you. I need you to do a couple spots for 1010XL. Here's $10 million.
Well, here's the thing, and this is where I don't know how it works. So you sign with FSU, who they have the right, in their contracts, they have the right to extend. You sort of like that. Like, here's your 4-year deal.
I love that because I'm paying you. So if you don't like it, then
kid in his second year becomes an All-American. He wants to renegotiate. Then I'm leaving.
You can't.
Yes, I can.
That's what the contract's for.
No, I'm leaving. I'm transferring. Well, you can't stop me from transferring.
Well, my point is that I'm not paying you to begin with. You can't have it both ways.
I know, but I'm telling you that's how it works.
If he becomes an All-American, well, you're lucky.
Is that why Wisconsin's suing Miami, though? I mean, there's kids all the time who come in as freshmen, make this huge jump as a sophomore, and now they got 2 years left, 1 year left. I need more money.
Buddy, here's the problem.
Yeah.
That's life. There are people listening all day. They're going to make a huge jump.
I understand.
They don't get it right away.
Sports ain't life.
No, and that's also not.
It's sad.
Not, well, okay.
Listen,
I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm saying I'm for that a different. I'm for FSU's way.
Yeah.
You sign. I'm going to pay you sight unseen.
Yeah.
You're 17.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you $800,000. But that $200 a year is not going to be enough because suddenly you're first team All ACC guard.
Yeah.
Pound rocks, then, bro.
Oh dear.
They all need to do that, but none of them will. There's always going to be somebody willing to skirt the system and do whatever they can to get good right now. But it's too much. I mean, look, people are like afraid to say it. I'm not opposed to paying the players.
Syracuse guys say we get fines for missing more than 2 absences in classes.
Okay, and what's wrong with that?
Samuel said later that if a player doesn't meet weight for a third time, it costs them a quarter of their monthly check. I love that.
I love it too.
Yeah.
They just want free money.
Yeah.
Play video games, smoke weed. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous, dude.
And then you got the agents jumping in.
By the way, the reason ultimately pro football is going to suffer for this because you know what used to be the motivation for becoming all conference?
Money.
To make the league, to get good, to improve.
No, they already said that. They said that.
How hard? How much motivation does an 18-year-old making $4 million have?
When we looked at Jay Glazer came out and said this year was one of the first years in NFL draft history where teams were taking players off their board if they don't, quote, love football. In other words, you already got his money.
That's right.
He's not as motivated.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just an overpay. It's just not. again, whatever, sports is sports, but college is not professional sports, or at least it's not supposed to be. Giving them a little bit of a subsidy, it's great. That's awesome. They deserve it. It makes a lot of money. But it makes a lot of money for state university systems that are using that money for a lot of things other than sports, too. It's the amount of money. A dadgum 19-year-old quarterback is not worth 20. And then people say, you're not. College football players aren't worth $6 million, dude. They're just not. They're too young. They're not ready for it. You can't count on them.
Again, let's keep this in mind.
Yeah.
These dirty SOBs at these colleges had no problem raking in millions and millions and millions of dollars without giving a penny to these kids.
I have to know, though.
You know that.
Yeah, I get it. Because everything changed all of a sudden, and that $120,000 college scholarship wasn't valuable.
Right.
That's when that narrative started.
Right. All right, we got to grab a break.
Yeah,
it was a good topic. We'll take a break. We're live at Magnolia Point. We got to talk to E to the T at some point about.
What about the Whisperer too? We got him next.
Yeah, and the Whisperer's coming up next. So a lot to do right here on The Drill.
The Drill from the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Your golfing buddy.
I can't believe you're a professional golfer. I think you should be working at the snack bar.
Your drinking buddy.
Drinks are on me.
That's a good buddy.
Well, everyone knows that.
Joe C. Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local women-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Jacksonville, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
E.T. here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What Major League Baseball teams have never won a World Series?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
There are 5 Major League Baseball teams that have never won a World Series: Colorado, Milwaukee, San Diego, Seattle, and Tampa Bay.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Mia here, and I love my custom closet from Closets by Design. With summer in full swing, having my warm weather wardrobe front and center is a game changer. No more digging for the right outfit on a hot day. If your home needs a summer refresh, whether that be a closet, a garage, or a pantry, schedule a free in-home consultation with Closets by Design. And the offer has been extended, folks. Receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. And free installation on any order of $750 or more. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Kuhn Flowers. Jaguar head coach Liam Cohen wrapped up his first off-season program and says he's learned a lot about his players.
I've been really pleased with just overall the team. You know, what we do with the Iron Jack games and with the weight room and what we were putting on them mentally. And those guys have really leaned into that, and I've appreciated that.
Meanwhile, Urban Meyer still believes in the Gators, but says it's clear the expectations in Gainesville have shifted since his title-winning days.
There was a time it was an SEC title. I don't think it's SEC title at all. I know it's not. You never hear that.
And on the diamond, Joe Mack homered Thursday night, but it wasn't enough as the Jumbo Shrimp fell 6-2 to Nashville, marking their first back-to-back losses since May 24th. Series continues tonight at 7:05 at 5-Star Park. Gates open at 6. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
76 degrees at 8:08. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Denny!
What's going on, man? Y'all on the golf course?
Yeah, we're playing the E to the T Charity Golf Classic way out here in Magnolia Point. Beautiful day. Getting ready to get out and sweat a little, buddy.
Nice.
Definitely some sweating going on.
We scrambling today?
We're scrambling.
Yeah, we're going low.
No mulligans, no nothing. Let's just go play golf.
50. 50 is the number.
That's what
Denny.
we're putting 50 as the winning total. Somebody's got to get a 50. 22 under, Denny. Last year, some jokers shot 46. It's impossible.
I was going to say, you can't put that out there because now somebody's listening with
Yeah, that's fair.
already.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I think ET this year is going to stun them. The first place team is the one that's not going to get any prizes, and then they're going to give someone else.
Oh, very good. Hey, Denny, we just had a good conversation about these contracts that these schools are offering. I don't know if you saw the CBS Sports article on Florida State's, but they said theirs is one of the more
restrictive,
very
aggressive,
harsh
language. Is not player friendly. I'm assuming, I don't know if you've seen the actual FSU one, but if you have, can you comment? What do you think? Is that what you hear? Is that what you know? And look, this is all evolving. So, but would it be, when that article comes out, is that something that like would worry FSU? Like, geez, I mean, you know, or do they have to look? This is how we're going to do it. Like, how do they handle it?
I mean, I don't know how they're going to handle it. I have seen it. I've seen a bunch of them in the past 10 days, and you know, they all kind of have their own little theme to it. But the theme seems to be restricting movement, which, you know, I think everybody on some level is obviously in agreement about.
Okay, let me jump in and ask you a question, Denny, because this is what made me curious. So let's say I'm a 4-star, 3-star kid. I come in, I go say I go to FSU. I play some as a freshman, but man, I take off my sophomore year. I mean, I take off. I'm all ACC. They're all talking about the NFL. I'm the guy. Well, I want more money, and so, well, you signed a 4-year deal that basically we're not giving it. This is what you agreed to. Well, I want to renegotiate. Well, we're not going to renegotiate. Well, then I'm transferring. Can the player? Can the player transfer?
Before Denny answers, why do we make a whole subset of rules that applies to a college football player? It doesn't apply to any other employment in the world. No other employer can you go sign your team. Why?
Why are we doing this? I want to ask this question first. Then you can ask
and then that's fine. I just
so I don't want to just drill on FSU. But
pick anybody. I don't care.
In generalities, that's the problem. What you just said is the problem. There are a couple of contracts where it's like, if you want to hit the portal, then some of them have some type of buyback where, okay, you can hit the portal, but if you leave, you're going to pay back half of what we gave you. Some of them are 100% of what we paid you. So it would be like, it'd be like 10-10 bringing you in, Dan, and saying, you know what, we're letting you go today, and oh, by the way, on top of that, you got to repay us everything that we paid you for the last year or two. And
who can you count on just walked in here,
right,
and knocking things over left and right? My God,
that's what they do.
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what the goal of all this is. And again, I'm not talking about FSU. FSU's aggressive.
Yeah,
but it does seem like there's an energy about these contracts that are just like we've gone backwards. And again, I don't think anybody is arguing that people need to stay at their school longer than 6 months. Nobody is arguing.
Right.
But when you start tying these contracts into, like, it doesn't matter if your coaches leave, it doesn't matter, nothing matters. This is what it is on paper. And, oh, if you play better, we promise you we're going to give you a raise, but here, sign this that says we're not. It's just stupid.
Why? I can't wait for these kids. I can't wait for them to get to the NFL where they sign a 4-year contract. Oh, my God. What do you mean it's really 4 years? You mean I really got to stay under the parameters that I agreed to? Here's an idea. If you don't like it, don't sign there to begin with. If you're going to make millions of dollars, you should have to.
That's completely apples and oranges.
I don't know how.
Apples and oranges.
How?
I can tell you.
How's it apples and oranges? You're paying somebody to play football. Okay.
I'm about to tell you.
All right.
Okay. So in the NFL, you get to negotiate your contract. You are an employee. They provide benefits. They provide all these other things. In college, you don't get any of that. You don't get any of that. In the NFL, they're not going to come back and say, "What's the wow?" I don't understand. Like, this is the part that I'm confused about.
I got you.
The arguments about this.
I got you. I mean, you said you get the argument that you just used there, that in the NFL you get repeat what you just said, and then I'll answer off of it.
You get to negotiate your contracts. You get benefits. You're taken care of as an employee. You have protections. All those types of things. There's ways that people have to move. In this, it don't even matter if they just tell you technically by the letter of their contract. Now, I don't believe that a lot of this stuff will be upheld. Let me just say that.
Okay.
Because if they uphold a lot of it, they're not going to be able to recruit. But the way it's written, even if schools tell you know what, we want you to leave, well, you still have this buyback. I mean, where are you going to go? Somebody's got to go and pay this school off to buy you, or you have to pay this school off to move forward? It's absurd.
Yeah, whatever. Reasonable minds can disagree on this topic.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean, we need to go point, counterpoint, this, that, and the other. For everything that I say, there's a counterpoint that the college kid doesn't have. And for everything you say, there's a counterpoint that I missed where guys coming out of college with a lot more accomplishment than anyone going into college had the option of choosing their parameters and their team and their contract. Last I checked, they get drafted, they go, they sign a contract, and they perform under that contract until it's over as a football player. So if you're coming out of high school and demanding $4 million, I think it's fair to put some contractual stipulations around you. Now, the other side of that is you'd have to pay them all up front, and that was the only that would be the difference.
Sure, I mean there is and the four. Here's
where it's different, Danny. I guess we've gotten all off of the major issue. The major complaint that I have, this is where we've gotten off, is Dan's. You play great year one and you get a raise. That's not fair. That's just not. Or I'm leaving. That's what I want to eliminate. You agreed to come here to take this amount of money. Now you've improved. It's not going to do you harm to keep improving. But to now, okay, well, I'm better than when you signed me. What about every guy that signed that got worse?
Well, they cut them.
No, they don't. They stay. There's a bunch of them in Gainesville, as you know. They don't. So anyway.
They absolutely will, and they absolutely have. And now these new roster limits.
Even the old days, Jeff, the scholarships were year to year. I mean,
I understand that.
Yeah.
They weren't paying them $800,000.
Right.
If you get paid $800,000, I think it's fair to ask you to stay 4 years for $800,000. It's a lot of money. And if you play,
okay, well, how about this? How about we just put together a contract that is fair for everybody instead of, and this goes both ways, by the way.
Right.
This goes both ways. Instead of threatening every single time you don't get something you want that you're going to leave, then I agree with you. You should have to stay a certain amount of time. Like, I am not opposed to, unless there's a coaching change, because let's not get this twisted. These kids are not there for education. Nobody is DMing them, telling them good job on your grade. Right? So
correct. There is no academic eligibility, none of that.
Unless there are parameters like coaches leave or something like that, then you have to stay till you get a degree. I'm cool with that, but let's not tell the kids you got to send us all the money back and you got to lock this in and then there's lying and recruiting. That's the other thing that don't happen in the NFL, by the way. Oh yeah, you're the only one we're going to bring in, and then once they sign you and lock you in, they bring in 3 others. There's a bunch of things that if we just use common sense and human decency, then we wouldn't have these problems anyway. If everybody just said, hey, we're going to operate like this is a business because it is a business, then we wouldn't have these issues. There is a middle ground, but neither side wants to hit that middle ground ever.
Right.
And it's just frustrating.
Well, it's just so much gray area here. You're calling professional athletes college athletes. And so as long as that's what we're doing, then we're way off. But college kids are going and making more money than your 18-year-old living in high school is going to make before they're 40.
It's fascinating, really, stuff going on here, and it will continue to be that way. Gosh, for the next 5 until we kind of go through the landscape a few times and figure out how it's going to work.
Hey, Denny, does it surprise you that Arch Manning is the Heisman favorite? And should he be?
No, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, he's on probably the most popular team heading into the season right now with the biggest name, and he's got a skill set. And, I mean, I guess that's how Vegas does it. He obviously can be very, very explosive. I hate it for him because his first year start and the expectation is going to be. When you think about what Heisman numbers actually are.
Yeah.
And you're talking about you're averaging, 300-something yards a game, and you're going, 40 touchdowns and 4 picks or something crazy like that. That's high expectations to put on somebody whose week 1 opponent is the defending national champion.
That's a great point. And what we've always said is you do not want to be the Heisman Trophy favorite in July or in June because they never win the trophy. Because what happens is if you're the favorite and you're right, against Ohio State you throw 2-3 picks, adios, and you can't get back off the ground. You're done. As far as the Heisman Trophy. That's just how it works. Yeah.
Does that speak to a weakness of returning players in college football? We're making the Heisman Trophy favorite a guy who's hardly played.
It's just that it's Manning. He's Manning.
No, I get it. You think he's winning the Heisman?
No. But he could.
Yeah.
You know what's probably unfair is, in my eyes, because I was at that Georgia-Texas game last year, and I can't get that out of my head.
Right.
So I because when they put him in, they did him a disservice putting him in that game when they've been Quinn Ewers for what was that, 3 series. You got to give the kid the chance to make some mistakes. He is going to be an amazing football player. He's going to be a first-round pick, all of those things. But, man, you got to give that kid a chance to make some mistakes without,
100%.
ruining his whole career. Yeah.
Did you see what Spurrier said?
No, I didn't.
Spurrier said, why is Arch Manning a Heisman Trophy favorite? Hey, if he's so good, how come he didn't play last year? Quinn Ewers was a 7th-round draft pick.
Spurrier, that's perfect for Spurrier. He had a bunch of guys like that.
Oh, my God.
Spurrier would also tell you that Danny Werfel is going to set the Super Bowl winning record when he left Gainesville.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I want one more thing on this whole new deal in college football. Is college football is pulling more money and more ratings than it ever has, by the way. This thing is more popular than it's ever been. The brand of football is really, really good. There are some good things in the state of college football right now. And I the last thing I'm going to say about this is I just wish that people would acknowledge that, and then let's start to build the restrictions on how you can move around that. I don't know that the issue is kids getting paid as much as the issue is kids having to leave to get paid. So can we put together a structure that rewards the guys that actually stay and are doing well and playing good ball so that they don't feel like they have to leave to get a raise?
That's a good
point. Because I think football is in a good spot right now. We've got the bigger expanded playoff. Obviously, gambling has done a ton for the sport with ratings and all that kind of stuff. It is in a great spot. We don't need to blow the whole thing up. We just need to tweak it a little bit to make it to where, like I said, it's reasonable and fair for everybody.
Or at least teach them a class, because again, I'm not trying to be, and I don't, the livelihood of all these thousands of players and where they're going from here, that's between them and their family. But buddy, enjoy this, because it'll never happen again the rest of your life. You'll never ever take a job where you do so good that you go in and demand that I want more or I'm leaving.
Unless you go to the NFL.
Yeah, right. which by the way, what 1.3% of y'all are going to do. So that's not my lesson to teach them, but they're going to be some. There are going to be some confused 30-year-olds in about 10 years, boys. There are going to be some confused 30-year-olds.
Good stuff, Denny. Appreciate you, man.
All right, guys. I appreciate it.
See you,
Denny. Have a good day. All right, we're live at Magnolia Point. We're here for the E to the T Charity Golf Classic. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more next.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder and magic. But times change. Get your wonder and magic on 1010XL.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is thrilled to announce you can get all of their flavors and original vodka at PJ Liquors in St. Augustine. PJ Liquors, since 1999, has been serving up summertime fun. Now enjoy Brackish Vodka, the #1 local vodka in North Florida. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka, and you can find their 9 flavors at PJ Liquors. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC experts, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air. keeping you comfortable in every season.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
I'm Drew Scrimshire, president and publisher of the Jacksonville Business Journal. In business, timing is everything. That's why every morning at 8:15, our morning edition delivers the most important business news straight to the inboxes of Jacksonville's decision makers, executives, entrepreneurs, investors, and industry leaders. Want to know what the First Coast power players are reading before they start their day? Join them. Subscribe today to the Jacksonville Business Journal Morning Edition at bizjournals.com/Jacksonville.
I'm Hammer and Hayes Carline, and I've been known to drop an opinion like a 2-ton hammer. Weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes on 1010XL. Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Gang, it's one of life's most important decisions. If you're 18 years or older, you just got married, you just got divorced, you have children, you likely want to take care of your family. Of course you do. That's why I'm here to tell you about Matt Hinson and the Hinson Law Firm. I'm not the attorney, Matty is, but we both want to know, have you done your last will? Man, Dan, I don't know why you bring that up. That's depressing. No, it's not. Something you got to take care of, something you want to do because you work hard for your money. You want to get the money to the people that you choose. Planning also helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes as well, right? You want to have as much money as you can for your loved ones. Matt Hinson will listen. He'll help you with your decisions. He'll provide you info needed so you're at ease with your choice. It's the Hinson Law Firm. Real easy to get a hold of Matty. 527-1700, 904-527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. Gang, don't let the state decide your fate.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
Born in Jacksonville, raised on Southern Rock, and coming home to the Florida Theater, it's Molly Hatchet. Saturday, June 28th. Get your fill of Southern Rock fury. I'm going back to the Gators country. Grab your seat at floridatheater.com. It's a hometown homecoming with Molly Hatchet.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Meet John and Ben Lupo, first and second generation owners of Jacksonville's Beards Diamonds.
We can do things that these corporate stores cannot do. Make decisions on the spot. Our pricing is better than anybody else's. We do not do commissions.
We really try to keep it a family environment, relaxed. We're not trying to sell you what we want. We're trying to listen to what you want.
In fact, don't be surprised if you end up spending less at Beards than you had budgeted, because they're going to teach you how to buy a diamond like a dealer buys and show you how to buy smart.
If we can save the consumer money, we're all about that. If we can achieve the same look, the same quality, and for them to spend less, that's what Beards is built on.
Why pay more if you don't have to?
Dad always taught me from day one is you got to look at the diamond. You can't just buy off of paperwork. Rather than us just saying, hey, this one's $7,000, the other one's $10,000, we're going to tell the consumer why this one's $7,000 and why this is $3,000 less but almost looks identical.
Don't overpay at the Wall Street-owned corporate chain. Get the transparency and value you deserve at Beards at the St. John Town Center.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, welcome back. It's 8:29. Good to join you guys. We got E visiting with us right now. Hello, E.
What's happening?
Today is the E to the T Charity Golf Classic. It's the second annual. Once you do a second, you get the annual tag, so congratulations on that.
No longer inaugural, baby.
That's right. So first, tell folks on a serious note, because we'll have a great time out here. We're going to have a lot of fun. The boys are already rolling in, getting ready. But on a serious note, tell them what your foundation's all about, E.
Well, nothing but an E-Thing Foundation. I started it about 8 years ago, and it all started with the sock drive thing. Socks are the least donated but most requested item by the less fortunate. So I found a way to use the platform, shout out 1010XL, to help me build a following and to bring awareness to the needs of the less fortunate. So once that got its legs and started running, I wanted to do more. And it was around the time where I tore my Achilles, I picked up the game of golf thanks to you two goofs. So I picked up golf and, really fell in love with it, or falling in love with it. And I was like, man, I could really do something with this. So I threw a golf tournament, but there always has to be an underlying, like a meaning behind it. And so I wanted to, help children who wants to pursue post-high school education. Not everybody can pay for it.
Right.
I had the luxury of the military paying for both my me going to barbering school as well as me going to college. But not everybody has that ability. So I was like, all right, well, cool. How about you throw a golf event and you raise money, give back to some kids that want to go to college. And here we are now. It's the second annual E to the Tea Time Charity Golf Classic.
And here we are.
Here we are.
And so this year we come out to Magnolia Point.
This year we're at Magnolia Point. They laid out the red carpet for your boy because they shut down the whole golf course for this event.
Wonderful.
And beautiful facility.
And we're sold out, by the way.
Man, we're oversold.
Yeah.
Beautiful facility. They opened it up for us, and I just can't thank them enough. They've been working hard trying to get the greens right. The upstairs is beautiful. We have Chick-fil-A up front with breakfast sandwiches. We see the boys here, man. It's going to be a fun, beautiful day.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a great day. So what is your
pretty much styrofoam time? I guess.
What is your role today as the tournament umpire? So you're not playing.
That's a great question. An old wise man once told me something about gripping and grinning, and that's what I'll be doing. I'll just just going around and just making sure I get to spend time with everybody who poured into this. They could be anywhere in the world, but they're here with me. And I appreciate it. And because of them is the reason why I'm able to do this. So I plan on speaking and hanging out with everybody who is in attendance today.
I have a list in front of me. This EA Sports,
it's in the game.
And by the way, they've gotten where they're almost like an evaluator because they put these grades.
Well, the dudes know it.
Yeah.
The fellas know it. They get ticked.
Well, they also include, home field advantage as part of their gaming system. And EA Sports College Football 26 has released the top 25 toughest places to play. I'm going to put my own standard on this. I think really you should do this outside of teams that were in the playoffs last year.
Okay.
Because if you're in the playoff, your building is automatically hard to play. Like if you show up as a tough place to play and you haven't been to you've never been to a college football playoff, that's saying something. The college football playoff's been around for 10 years.
Right.
If you crack a list of toughest places to play, even though it hadn't been tough enough for you to do anything. So number one, what do you think? Number one is cliche almost, and it is a very tough place to play. Earthquake level, nighttime frolicking.
LSU?
Yeah, LSU Tiger Stadium. Number two, I've never been there. They say
we're going to have that experience this fall.
Beaver Stadium, Penn State is number two.
Very good place.
I think it speaks
over 100,000. The whiteout is awesome.
I think it speaks to how hard of a place it is because Penn State is not in that national power category.
Okay,
they're a good program. They're not a national power. They don't. They were never in the playoff until this 12 team, or not very much. Number three, Ohio State, Ohio Stadium. Number four, Sanford Stadium, Georgia. If you went back to 1995, Dan, Florida be number two, and Georgia wouldn't be in the top 15.
That's correct.
So it depends on how your program is up and running. Number five, Bryant-Denny at Alabama. Number six, Memorial Stadium, Clemson. Number seven, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida. And I thought that does speak very, very well for Gator Nation and the hostile environment they make for a team that's been roughly 500 the last 3 years.
Yeah.
The fact that you can be viewed as one of the toughest places to play.
5 years, try 10 years.
Despite not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not 500 over. I'm trying to get the 500 number. They're number seven, so I'll give you another one. I'll give you another team, although this team has been very good until the coaching change. That's Oklahoma. the Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Number 9 is Oregon. Number 10 is Michigan.
Yeah.
And then it goes down from there. You get Doak, by the way, 14.
I was going to say, before last year, Doak Campbell was a great place to go.
It's great tradition, a great atmosphere, the whole spear, the war chant. Yeah,
the one you probably don't see is Miami. Miami will never.
No,
that's one area where they'll never rank.
They have. Well, I mean, it is what it is. They have bad fans.
Well, it's just.
I mean, if you can't fill your building, you got bad fans. If you have a good team, you have bad fans. If you're 9-0 and you go 9-3, you have bad fans.
They don't have. Well, I say they don't have a lot of fans. There's a lot to do. There's a million reasons why.
There's probably, and I'm guessing that
I'm sure there's
not a ton of. Here's what happens.
Joe Yu is a great Canes fan.
He didn't even go there, so that sums it up.
He's a great.
Never spent
Canes
a day on campus, so
yeah.
I don't know how you measure your fan greatness, but
well, I'll tell you how you do it.
That's
he goes to games down there. He goes to games on the road.
Yeah.
He's obnoxious. He's a great fan.
Forrest, what is FSU? Is all the stadium renovations? It's all done now. All right, they played through all that
Where's
stuff last year. Tennessee is 12th.
12th.
Tennessee is another one that when they are good and rolling, that's a tough place to play, and when they're not, it's not.
It's an awful big environment. It's
Tennessee loses to bad teams at home too much.
Well, so does Florida.
Not like Tennessee. Who did we just lose to a couple of years?
I mean, we've lost to some god-awful teams through the years, dude. GA, no disrespect.
GA Southern is that's the only one. The rest of them, whatever.
Not the only one.
Well, yeah.
Bad losses at home.
Well, I get it, but it's conference.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's a
Kentucky
conference. It's a conference game.
You're not. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, they lost to Vandy with James Franklin. It's not much different than Alabama owning a loss to Vandy this year.
Alabama hadn't gotten over that.
Yeah. Well, it's been half a year. I think they will.
They're only getting over that if they win them all this year.
All?
Yeah. That guy's about to find out what Alabama's all about.
I don't think that even Alabama fan expects them to win at all.
Alabama expects them to be SEC champions in the college football playoff and playing for an Natty. That's what they expect.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Those are high expectations.
Well, I mean,
that's what it is, Alabama, which makes you realize how good Nick Saban was, because he basically did that every year. Perfect storm. What a perfect storm. Then he moves right to ESPN and takes over college football because he swears a lot. By the way, just so you know,
was 10 in Knoxville for the loss to Georgia State? That's Orson Georgia Southern.
Just so you know, you can ask him. Just so you know, Scotty Van Pelt and
gone for like a month and a half.
Month and a half.
Yeah,
right. 2 months.
Here's the problem with that: they haven't done
3 months.
They haven't done squat in the last 3 months. They're barely on anyway.
What a gig!
It should probably get fired. Like when you reach this point of unawareness, I know I'm good, I'm powerful, I'm set. If you take too far away, you're begging for it. Don't let them figure out that you're not that needed.
Different industry now, man.
Yeah, ESPN is completely off the.
I read a great article on Stephen A.
They're out of the.
I read a great article on Stephen A. the other day about listen, he has earned his money. He is the high-paid man at ESPN, and they threw him on draft coverage, and that was not a good move. He doesn't know anything about those college. It's a lot like Chuck Barkley, though.
Yeah, why should he? But it's easier to do it if you're doing game talk. It's not if you're doing draft. Draft, you'd have, like Stephen A. Smith put him on the NCAA.
He literally said, "I don't know anything about this guy except what you just told me."
I mean, and when you say that, you're pouting for doing it.
Well,
you don't say that.
Well, what's the point of you being here?
Yeah, you're pouting. That's what you're doing. You're telling everyone, I don't want to be here. They're making me.
Yeah, and so, and again, I get it to a point, but at some point, so anyway, I think he's off for a couple months too. You won't see him for a while. I think all these guys take summers off now.
It's amazing. Why did making $20 million?
Maybe Baselli was ahead of the curve.
Summer Baselli.
He liked to take the summers off here at 10-10.
It cost him the prestigious spot here as part of at the time Sports Final Radio team because he just wouldn't relent on he needs 2 months off every couple months.
Do you think Tony likes us because we were with him at the worst of his times, or does that signify that we were the worst?
A little
because we sat there and
I think he likes us. I don't think he likes us because of that, and I do think he hates us. He's associated with the Arlos
because he He sat with us at Chicago Pizza.
But that was lower for him than it was for us.
Oh, it wasn't bad for us. It was fun.
Yeah.
But for him, it was an awful.
That was an all-time low. The fact that guy is now the executive vice president of an NFL team after I watched him break a $8 trophy in half and leave it in a Chicago Pizza urinal.
My man.
It's an amazing story.
My man.
We went from being yelled at because he couldn't predict who the Dolphins were going to take number 6 to actually making draft day decisions.
Walking with James Gladstone, talking about Travis Hunter and making a trade.
That's right. Right. The same guy who in Chicago Pizza, forlorn, said, "This is my career low."
What a country. What a country.
Listening to The Drill. It's a GFL Friday.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Good friends, great sports talk, and summer on the First Coast. 1010XL.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
Jacksonville is staying cool with Cool Cat's Heating and Cooling. Don't sweat HVAC costs. Special financing makes upgrades a home run. Choose high-efficiency AC systems, spread payments over time, and keep the savings in your pocket. Apply fast, get approved quick, and enjoy comfort now. Over 20 years of HVAC expertise awaits. Get a quote today before the summer savings melt away.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
I'm Frank Frangie with the Nimnik Nugget. College football finally got it right. They've now announced that there will be straight seeds. You win your conference, that gets you into the tournament. But it doesn't mean you'll be seated high. The best teams will be seated high. Sometimes college football takes forever to get it right. This one they finally got right. I'm Frank Frangie for the Nimnik family of dealerships. Frank Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnik Buick GMC. Home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. That's right, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville, so shop 24/7 online at NimnikBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
How wide is home plate in baseball?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The home plate in baseball is a generous 17 inches wide, although most major league pitchers would think otherwise.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Hey, Hickett here for my friends at ITP Partners. We're facing interesting economic times, right? Dow goes up, Dow goes down, Dow goes up, Dow goes down. Tariffs, I can't make sense of it, but my guys at ITP Partners can. Jacksonville folks taking care of my Jacksonville money, and that is a comforting thing. It's the experience, it's the expertise, it's the knowledge, and it's the openness of Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Janice Cobb, Reed Wingate. They're always there for me, right? Always there for me. And listen, 3 generations of Hickens have invested at ITP Partners, and they listen, and they give us each individualized strategies where our goals become their priorities. It's a great time to get in the game. ITP Partners are always there to help. Chris at ITPPartners.com. Easy to get a hold of, or call 312-9751, 312-9751. They're ITP Partners. They're my financial partners for life.
Man, I
I can't wait for Saturday. I'm going to the Jacksonville Axemen Rugby League game. They're playing the Southwest Florida Copperheads, and it's going to be good.
Rugby league is crazy. No pads or helmets. No, that's a real contact sport. Count me in.
Join the ratified credit union Jacksonville Axemen as they take on the Copperheads at the UNF Turf Field tomorrow night at 7. Tickets start at $10 and kids under 12 are free at jacksaxe.com.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Frank Franzi here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville's full of memorable sports moments. Remember Tiger Woods' 60-foot putt on the iconic 17th? Gary Coate called it better than most. Better than most. Well, Coil Fencing is better than most. They're better than all. Coil has been that for nearly 100 years. So if you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coil & Sons today. That's at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back. We're live at the E to the T Charity Classic. We're at Magnolia Point. The gang will all get going here about 9:25, and then the winning squad, as soon as the show ends, will proceed to the number one team.
Did you want to give me that Josh Allen on Josh Allen sack signed picture, or what is that for?
That, it's the Bills album that signed it.
Oh, it is?
That's what makes it cool.
No, he did.
Damn it. I'm trying to sell that for you, buddy. I'm trying to puff that up for you. You just got to roll with it.
But that's, iconic 9-6 game.
Yeah.
Josh Allen versus Josh Allen.
I wouldn't really call it iconic.
You know what? I really did.
It was the year that our team sucked.
Memorable.
Hey,
memorable.
Yes.
I really did. I thought that was an 11. And I'm so used to Hines Allen. I really, literally.
Yeah, he's 17, though.
Okay, well, there you go. I don't know. I'm just looking at the one.
So what is that for? How do I get that?
It'll be one of the prizes on the putting green.
Prize on the putting green?
I got a special putting green. You hit it, you get it.
You damn.
You get it.
You pay $10 a ball, whatever you hit, you get.
Any styrofoam on that putting green?
Oh, there's going to be a lot of, won't be styrofoam, but it'll be bottles.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Where would this fall into the in sports morality?
Yeah.
Because this happened in something else, so I'm trying to use use an example that more people would be familiar with.
Okay.
Say there is the German Masters tennis tournament.
Say again now.
Tournament.
The German Masters tournament. Tennis.
German Masters.
Whatever. It's the French Open.
Okay.
I say it's the French Open, and Penn, the tennis manufacturer, says to Michael Chang, Michael, if you win the French Open, in addition to first prize, we're going to give you $1 million bonus. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then let's say the tournament plays out, Chang goes through his part, and then over here, Jim Courier has come along through this part, and now when they get to the end, they're going to play for it. If Courier wins, he wins the first place money. Chang wins second place money.
Okay.
If Chang wins, he wins first place money plus $1 million bonus, and Courier gets second place money. Would there be something wrong with Chang and Courier? Because it affects no one else in the tournament. They've already won their way to the final. Would it be okay for Chang and Courier to come to an agreement that Chang wins the tournament and then Curry and Chang can split part of that bonus?
It's a great question. I've been meaning to ask you about that because I don't understand it. And we'll get to that in a second. But I would say that would be fine unless you've signed something that says you're not going to do that.
Okay. We've had this situation. Now, understand.
Because what Jeff is referring to is there's a moment, and I guess
it happened in
World
poker.
Series of Poker.
Yeah. But I will say this. A fine in real sports is a you bet, no problem in poker. That's the only thing if you will even consider that that's okay for a tennis major, then this poker thing is all a bunch of hogwash.
I will tell people.
All right, here's what it is. There was an event, like a high-limit event at the World Series of Poker.
Are we down to the final 8, the final 10?
It's done. Well, ultimately, one of the players in the field had a deal with, I think, the World Poker Tour was going to pay him $1 million bonus if he won this tournament.
Okay.
And it was a limited field. Well, we get all the way to the end of the tournament, and this guy makes it to the final table against one other person. There's no one else involved.
It's just two people.
It's just two people left, me and you. And so the suspicion is the guy getting the $1 million bonus because the other guy had a huge chip lead. Okay. He had like 90% of the chips. This guy had 10% of the chips.
Okay.
It takes effort that you would be able to spot to dump off that many chips for this guy to win. So bottom line, though, the suspicion is the guy getting the bonus went to the other guy and said, hey, man, I got $1 million bonus. You dump it off, I'll give you $300,000.
Because he's not going to make that much.
And it doesn't matter. Right. He would have. So the other guy could either win first place money.
Which is what?
Which is like $1 million.
Okay.
And or is like, I think it was $1.3 million to first and $1 million to second.
So either way, they're both getting $1 million.
He probably split it. I imagine if they did a deal, they'd split that other $1,500,000.
But there's another $1 million that I can get if I win the tournament.
Well, but the one guy can't get it, and he's the big winner. The only way he can get $500,000 is if he just tanks this final table, not the tournament. No other player's chances.
So in other words, but for the integrity of the sport, we're there to watch.
But
unless you sit there and announce, hey, we're gonna chop it up.
Well, there's also this, Dan.
Yeah.
Agreeing to a chop.
Yeah.
And then playing it out happens almost every tournament you see.
Okay.
Like they very rarely play for that last one.
In the poker
poker world, if it's a big tournament and you're down to the last 3 or 4, it's not always even, but they'll go ahead and make it, and then they'll play it out for the trophy.
Right.
But your money is already guaranteed. So that's another nuance to this story.
Okay.
So there are some, as social media reacts these days, who immediately like over the top. These guys should be banned for life. They shouldn't be at the World Series of Poker. And then there are others like, come on, man, deals are cut every day. This affected no one else in the tournament.
So just those two.
Right. If there had been 3 or 4 players and you're affecting someone else's chances.
Right.
But at that stage, if this dude wants to lay down and lose the tournament, who cares? And by the way, if you do play poker, okay, any and all of us would have happily dunked off all our chips for an extra $500,000. You bet we would.
Oh, sure.
That's why you play, to win money. And if I get lucky enough that if I can make it to the final table with bonus, baby, I'll cut a deal and get some of that bonus.
Gotcha.
So we'll see where it works out. But these World Series of Poker events are, they got bracelets and, they're up to 50 or 60 events. It's definitely the premier. And so there's also, but I got news for you. Hey, poker world, there ain't nobody that thinks that you're not sketch. So don't worry about your integrity. There's no integrity in poker. It's a bunch of degenerates, man. 100%, dude. I know. So don't give me, integrity is not an adjective that applies to sport, to poker. Yeah. It's just not. That doesn't mean gambling. Well, it doesn't mean everybody there. I'm not saying that. But give me a break, dude. Poker player takes money over
trophy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get that. But
anyway, I just was trying to put it in another, again, team sport. There's so many other, it's hard to find something that applies. It would have to be an individual sport.
Right.
And it can't be a match, in the middle of the tournament. It has to be the final.
You could put that in the golf world.
Yeah, it has to be the final.
If me and you're in a sudden death playoff.
That's right.
Right.
And Nike told me they're giving me $20 million if I win the tournament.
Yeah, but I'm getting this huge bonus from my,
but couldn't it happen, though? What if it was PGA? What if it was like the old days and, like, you get the $20 million bonus for winning the FedEx Cup? Although, and like one guy isn't going to win it if he wins.
Well, I guess once you open the Pandora's box,
I do think because I think too much is being made of this. I think it's a little bit of marketing making this a big thing. These two dudes had gone through the field. Everyone had their chance to knock either one.
Have they admitted that they've done this?
No. I think there's fear that if you admit it, they can go to some bylaw because there is, under the rules, you can't, collusion does involve.
What's the fine? Are they ban you?
They could withhold your money. Oh, no. That's the big fear, that they're withholding first and second money, which is
No.
And there's also fear that the bonus won't be paid. But by all accounts, the poker community, I think the ones that actually decide, the big names, are all going to say no. They should get their first and second, and they should get the bonus.
Gotcha.
And whether or not they should admit what they did, I don't really think it matters at that stage. Like I guess this is just like coming down, me and you in the fantasy golf or fantasy football.
Oh yeah.
We decide before the last game. Okay, I'm going to sit my guys because if you win this.
Well, remember our winner from the Survivor pool that year, a couple years ago. Our guy went to Vegas and does it, and they all made the offer. There was like 4 or 5 of them left, and so they put the offer out there to chop it, and the one professional guy wouldn't do it, and then he lost, so they were happy.
Well, and my thing with this poker, the last thing I will say about it, if you're not a poker player in the tournament, I don't care what you think.
Okay.
And if you are a poker player in the tournament, I can't imagine that you care what they do. You're out of the tournament. What they do with their money, who wins, I could care less.
I'd like to hear...
Unless it affected knocking me out or other players out, and it didn't.
I think a lot of what you say makes sense, so I don't know the other side.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear what possibly...
The other side is the integrity. Are people playing the integrity card of this is collusion, that this isn't fair. But again, the tournament's over, and it's no different than playing out, and then the other guy just, you want to have $1 million?
Right.
I'll give it to you if I want to.
Right.
Now, I guess it's the bonus being, if anyone had a beef, it'd be the World Poker Tour bonus. They're the ones with the beef.
Yeah.
Because you didn't really win. You let the other guy let you win. That to me is the only beef.
Oh, yeah.
But other players or the World Series event itself, those are your final two. If this guy wants to sacrifice his bracelet, here's how you find out. When the guy who finished second, when he's walking around with that bracelet this time next year. Right? Because part of the agreement will be, I'll give you the bracelet too.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Well, it's interesting, and I'll be curious to see. It's along the lines of, we got weights and fish.
It is. Yeah, not as bad.
Not as bad.
Yeah, not as bad as
weights and fish was they were ready to throw those boys overboard. That's what they were ready to do on the weights and fish guys. But it's a story sort of along those lines. So it would be interesting.
Well, I got one little bit of a baseball news that came out of Braves land yesterday. So if you were, if you were thinking that Reynaldo Lopez might, come back and be able to help you in some capacity,
he's done.
I probably won't even join the rotation. He's being reevaluated soon, according to the Braves. If Lopez is evaluated by a doctor around the All-Star break, 3 weeks away, it could be about 6 weeks before he could even be a relief pitcher. That puts him about 2 months away from being a starter. I mean, again, you're not counting on. Listen, they got the 1 year out of Reynaldo Lopez. He's gonna be a 1 year Brave.
Yeah.
You broke that man. I mean, he's never been a full-time starter, and you pitched him to death last year, and now this year, right out of the gates, he's hurt.
There is a sobering thing last night, and I thought of it, and I think you said it today with Griffin Canning, same type of thing. Here's Griffin Canning, who resurrected his career this year. He's pitched so very well. He was DFA'd or cut by you guys or something. He was with the Angels last year. He was not very good at all. And once he, and we don't know, but it looked like he did his Achilles.
They say it's Achilles.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're reporting.
Yeah. So once he did that, then you're like, it's probably. I think he signed a 1 year deal with the Mets.
Yeah, and his career's probably over.
Yeah,
he was having the best year. He
finally found something.
Yeah,
and it's great though. I will say this, man, and I think Murph's right about this, man. These pitchers that make it all the way to the majors are so bleeping good.
It's hard to get guys out,
bro. These guys.
Yeah.
Justin Moore in the house. These guys are so good. And they just, we talked about a couple of those kids, Mizorowski and Skeens, 103 mile an hour, and those pitches. I was like your guy,
and to stay healthy.
Your guy last night, but Kenny Powers.
He's pretty good, actually. He's a pretty good pitcher.
And they were talking about his 10 years in the minors.
Yeah. He's just late.
The dude toiled for 10 years in the bushes without giving up.
Did he have a bunch of strikeouts? He's been a surprisingly strikeout pitcher.
He had
for
that
us.
15 against the Rockies. They lost that game, which is mythical stuff.
Sure.
But anyway.
Got a lot of that this year.
But I'm watching him, and I don't know what the pitch is that's not his straight pitch, but he's got the fastball 95, 96, and then he throws the pitch that just dives.
Yeah, it's like a cutter, I think.
And they're swinging over it, man, swinging over it. And I'm like, and early in the game, we're trying to get runs here, and My guy TT comes up, and he's got some clutch in him. He's been great for us, but he made a terrible error last night.
Kicked it around.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Didn't matter. We didn't score a run.
Oh, and then the other observation I will make is and I've given up. I'm not going to do it anymore. Baseball players in the major leagues just don't run hard.
Oh, a lot of them.
They don't. We can teach them all we want. We can demand it out of our kids.
Like the Azuna play, he
got lucky.
He ended up being just the same place if he'd have run hard.
Yeah. They don't run hard. They hit the ball. They watch it.
They assume.
If they think it's gone, they admire it.
Yeah. And
So
if they think it's a single, they just jog down to first.
I give up, man.
Yeah.
I give up. They don't run hard.
And what happened with Azuna is he got a base hit, and he just jogged at first.
That's the one that Tyrone Taylor missed.
That play. And then the left fielder kicked it around. Or the center fielder kicked it around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so all of a sudden he said, "Oh," and it was, and that slide.
Why does McNeil play?
That big fatty slide, man?
I think they did him a disservice with the slow mo though. He got in there standing. I thought it was okay.
He needs to be careful.
He's a little bit early though on the slide for sure. Did why does McNeil play center one night and left the next?
He just moves around, man.
But why? Didn't Taylor play the night before and left?
Taylor's a defensive replacement if he comes.
Oh, he didn't start.
Oh, he starts some. But starts half the time.
Yesterday,
it's supposed to be Siri and Taylor.
So, but wasn't Taylor in left and
Taylor came in
and McNeil in center when McNeil robbed the homer? It was early in the game.
Oh, the night before.
Yeah.
Was Taylor in left?
Yes. Because last night Taylor's in center and McNeil's in left.
Taylor's almost always center.
Yeah.
So
well,
I don't know.
You know who your left fielder was 2 nights ago? Who it would have been?
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay. Well, then it was. Because I thought it was strange that you put McNeil in center, and he made the catch, and then he's in left the next night.
Taylor's a much better center fielder.
That's right.
Than
McNeil. He made...
McNeil almost dropped that one he ran last night. He ran over it. Yeah, that was popped out of his glove.
Yeah, that would have been nice for that to happen.
Well, would not have been good.
Yeah. I'm just so despondent about them. I'll watch them when they play tonight. I literally don't know who the Braves are playing. Are we Milwaukee?
Phillies. Yeah, Phillies at home.
Home or road? Home. So you need us to beat them.
Yes.
Yeah, bleep the Phillies. That's what I say. PH the Phillies.
Yeah. All right, let's do this.
It's a 9 o'clock hour.
We're making nasty time.
McNasty.
Oh, is McNasty here at Magnolia Point? Did you see him out there? Is he golfing today?
No, he ain't golfing.
Is Friday here? Is any of the gang here?
Yeah, I saw Friday.
She's out and about?
I can't even tell you what I saw Friday.
Probably behind 13 green, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
The Whiskey Sunday. This is the drill. If you know, you know.
That was Friday's cousin.
Yeah, but no, that was Friday. She's on probation.
Yeah. She's never to return.
I'll tell you what happened in that sordid affair.
Oh.
All right, it is a GFL Friday. That's Green for Life.
I know you're chuckling out there, Charlton.
Yes, CC to his core.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway for all your outdoor living needs. Let them show you how a durable paver driveway can enhance your home. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
The SEC and the ACC will face off in Jacksonville at the 81st TaxSlayer Gator Bowl game December 27th at 7:30 p.m. Join us for Saturday Night Football in prime time at the bank. Preferred locations and pricing available now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Get more Jaguars coverage from Jacksonville's sports superstation.
There it is. Jag on 3, baby. 1, 2, 3, Jags!
1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is thrilled to announce you can get all of their flavors and original vodka at PJ Liquors in St. Augustine. PJ Liquors, since 1999, has been serving up summertime fun. Now enjoy Brackish Vodka, the #1 local vodka in North Florida. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka, and you can find their 9 flavors at PJ Liquors. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Life happens every day, and sometimes it gets in the way. That's why 1010XL makes it easy to listen to your favorites. If you missed it, get it on demand.
At 1010XL.com.
Channeled by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Sun's out. Deals on at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Enjoy summer eats like the Yingling beer batter fish sandwich, chicken salad lettuce wraps, and wings and tenders combo basket. All for under $14. Add 3 bone-in wings for just $3.49. And sip a peach cocktail or Michelob Ultra. HurricaneWings.com.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Love is in the air. At Beard's Diamonds, listen up. Couples, this is a great offer. Hicken here from my friends at Beard's Diamonds. Out for a limited time. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. That's right. When you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Woo! You about to get married or been married for years, thinking it's time for an upgrade? You can't miss the deal of the year on the ultimate symbol of love. Beers has hundreds and hundreds of bands. Top designers, white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, eternity bands. Oh, my goodness. Nobody has a bigger or better selection of wedding bands than Beards. So get to Beards. Find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second free. Hey, the big box corporate jewelry stores, they can't touch this. But Beards can. Through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss the opportunity to celebrate Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. Shop local.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. With over $450,000 in cash and prizes, fun starts on July 13th with the inaugural Kickoff Beach Tournament that has a $50,000 cash first place prize. There's also a junior offshore tournament and one for the lady anglers. Best of all, the winner of the general offshore tournament takes home a Contender 28T with twin Yamaha 200s. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
Born in Jacksonville, raised on Southern Rock, and coming home to the Florida Theater, it's Molly Hatchet. Saturday, June 28th. Get your fill of Southern Rock fury. I'm going back to the Gators country. Grab your seat at floridatheater.com. It's a hometown homecoming with Molly Hatchet.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
It's Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacks Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacks Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Southern Oak Insurance. The NBA draft wrapped Thursday night over at FSU. Jameer Watkins became Leonard Hamilton's final draft pick, going to the Washington Wizards. As for the pros, the Orlando Magic grabbed forward Noah Pinda, while the Miami Heat sat out the second round. On the gridiron, the Jacksonville Sharks hit the road Saturday to face the Iowa Barnstormers in a pivotal playoff push. Kickoff is at 8:05. And in rugby league action, the Jacksonville Axemen return home to UNF Saturday for their second conference home game. Due to a lighting issue, kickoff has been moved up to 6:30 p.m. They'll face the Southwest Florida Copperheads. And a shout out to Avery Patterson, who just made history as the first Jacksonville High School alum to score for the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Currently 80 degrees at 9:09. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010 1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I'm fed, feeling X-rated. It's Mr. Nasty time. Oh, Mr. Nasty time. The nasty time.
It's time. Now, it's time for the 9 o'clock nasty on the drill.
We're wasting time.
Here are Jeff Prosser, Dan Hicken, and E.T.
You know what the Yankees are having next week? Bobblehead night?
No.
George Costanza bobblehead night.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, traveling secretary.
Yes. Oh, my God. Too funny.
Who am I? I'll read you the description of this team. This team's defense ranked 25th in pressure rate on plays without blitzing, and the situation looks similarly bleak for them in 2025. Player A ranked between 10th and 18th among edge defenders in overall grade in each of the last 4 seasons, and remains one of the better players at his position. However, the Jaguars need former first overall pick Trayvon Walker to take a big step forward in his 4th season, and for now, Jacksonville has arguably the NFL's worst interior defensive line. After a couple of days of some optimistic lists I have in front of me, Pro Football Focus's grading of the defensive lines in the NFL. And the Jags check in at 29. Woo! Hard to imagine that the linebackers are viewed as 6th best and the D-line as 29th best. Not that I think they're not that I think they're equal, but God, I don't feel like it's that far
Eric
apart.
Armstead has to find himself inside again. Mason Smith has to really progress. If Devon Hamilton could, I don't know if Devon Hamilton will ever be the same player again, but if he is, that would be this year.
Did we add a single thing to the interior of the D-line? Other than undrafted free agents, we didn't go for a free agent there, right? We didn't draft anyone there, right? It was offense except for Ramshaw and then McLeod is more of a linebacker end guy. I mean, it's curious to me. They're evaluating because they knew the offensive line, buddy. They came in with their hair on fire.
Yeah.
Well, this D line and its grading, its projections, its analytics is no better than the O lines was.
Yeah.
So it's curious to me that. The defense, and again, I hope I'm not forgetting an obvious one here as we spit through 1,000.
Smoot.
No, that's an edge. Boy.
Yeah, well, he's played.
Yeah, he can. But the line has not been addressed.
No.
A couple of veteran edgy types.
No, you don't know any of these guys.
Yeah, so that.
I mean, Jordan Jefferson, can he show up? I mean, there's no. So yeah, that's fair. But I guess the hope is what I just said. Mason Smith had a pretty good last month.
Yeah.
Eric Armstead, needs to be the player that he can be.
And to your point, somebody at some point, someone has to grow.
Yeah.
We need somebody a lot of the stars we see in the trenches, Dan. By the time we know their names, they've been in the league 6 years. Like when you hear about Zadarius Smith, or I'm just throwing names. Daniil Hunter, it's not rookie year. They're on teams and you don't notice them for 2 or 3 years because they're getting better and then they're a star. We don't develop anyone. There's never anybody who shows promise as a rookie and then as a 4th-year player is way better. Or it doesn't seem to be.
I saw something a little disconcerting yesterday on NFL Live, and that was that best they were doing the top 10 defenses in the NFL, which we are not on. But number 2
is it Houston?
Yes, it's a team we know very well, and they're huge on. But you know who starts for them inside? Fodakasi.
Yeah, he's played better for them than for us.
Yeah, and they have Sheldon Rankins as well over there, and obviously
it's the end tandem of Anderson and Hunter. See, Walker and Allen need to be that good. Trayvon Walker.
They like their defensive backfield as well.
Yeah, they got their corners. Or the secondary was like number 1 or number 2.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson showed up there.
Well, and they've got Lassiter on the other side.
Petre.
Yeah, they have a good team.
I mean,
they have a good defense.
Yeah, they got their linebackers they like led by the dirty guy.
Analytics, film, grades, evaluations, and rankings list. Do not like Trayvon Walker. We give Trayvon Walker
because he got the sacks.
Because of those sacks, and that's where we're guilty of forever saying, "Well, we always try to give me some sacks."
They will tell you that Josh Allen had a much better year last year than Trayvon Walker.
Every year,
Trayvon Walker had more sacks than him last year.
Yeah. But I guess the way that I would just common man describe that or explain it would be, I guess it's just Trayvon Walker takes longer to get to the quarterback than other sack guys, and when he gets there, he's getting him down most of the time.
Yeah.
Now, those can be positives. There's a relentlessness to keep going after him.
But he should be better in the other things if he's not.
Yeah.
And again, I can't speak to that. I don't sit there and watch Trayvon Walker. But he should be better against the run.
He doesn't show up in, if you listed the top 30, he doesn't show up.
I know.
And it can't be because they don't like him. Because they see I will say this, though. You go and you look at in the NFL, and you get guys with 8, 9, 10 sacks that none of us have ever heard of.
Yeah.
It doesn't always mean that that's a superstar.
Yeah.
And so
our defense was either, and I think it's probably a combination, but I think the coaching staff was a disaster last year. I think they totally misjudged. I think their advice was wrong. I think we want you to be fatter wasn't right. Yeah, heavier.
All of them. I mean, it was Cisco. I mean, it was every player. It was just ridiculous.
It did not.
Here's an idea. Let's get slower. That'll work.
I think the line about scissor, paper, rocks was dumb. There's just a lot going on.
We quit.
Yeah.
Cisco gave us that.
Yeah, there was the. It's just, gosh, it was just one thing after another.
It felt like Doug Peterson came here for early retirement. Now, I know he's gone off to another job, but it felt like he came in, engaged, excited, and then once they got good, he was just going to do his thing, and that was it.
Yeah.
They didn't push any right buttons. I thought his psychological profile was so good in that first year. You took a 3-14 death march to the playoffs. How do you stop?
And we haven't heard one thing about Doug.
Is he not with anyone? Did he land with Kansas City or somebody?
I would have thought that'd be the only place.
Like I said, I heard those rumors about him, but honestly, watching Doug Peterson's last year and a half and then listening to him, I would be surprised if he worked again.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just lazy enough to go chill out somewhere, and you've earned that distinction. But again, if you wear a visor inside the dome, you're a little too laid back to be my coach.
I got my bonus money with this job.
Yeah.
Pay me off.
I had a little more legacy. I took a crappy franchise to the playoffs. I'm sure if you got Peterson and you sat him down, because it is a.
Oh, he would tell you some things about the players.
Yeah, it
would be all his fault.
He would not be kind to Trevor.
No,
that's automatically who they're going to blame. I know what I'm doing. If this guy was this, that, or the other, we would have had this. Sometimes you probably have to do it a little different.
Yeah, which takes us back to Trevor Lawrence, which it always does in the end when you talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who, I
don't know if Peterson would be right. I'm just saying, knowing him now in full context.
Right. 100%.
That would be part of the narrative.
100%.
Because he was more than other coaches. It ain't me.
Yeah.
And again, that's not a terrible thing. He was more. It ain't me. It's them.
Yeah.
And most coaches aren't that. That's him.
Most coaches will say, we got outcoached, we got outplayed, we got, those type of things. He doesn't.
And he will. And now he would always throw in this disclaimer. I was like, at the end of the day, it's on me. But you can tell. It's like, it's on me, but hey, it's them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of what it felt like.
All right, let's do this. You want to grab a break?
All right, we probably need to.
Yeah, we'll keep it rolling. We're at Magnolia Point Golf Club. We're ready for the E to the T charity golf class. The boys are going off here in a couple minutes.
That's right, 8 minutes.
But we'll just jump in there when we are ready.
Break some hearts.
Get right in front of some group, and they're
Can't wait.
ticked.
Yeah. Like me.
Beautiful.
Like me.
Yeah.
All of it may fall apart before next year because of our actions.
This is the drill.
It's a GFL Friday.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Radio that works and plays just as hard as you do.
Starting to get the picture?
We are proud to be Jacksonville Sports Radio 1010XL.
Hey, John, have you seen the exciting 2025 lineup at Randy Marion Cadillac?
They've got the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Vistique. It's a Cadillac lover's dream.
And the best part, over 100 new Cadillacs are in stock and ready for you to drive home today.
Plus, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and experience luxury and performance like never before.
Visit us today at Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Don't miss out on these incredible vehicles. Your new Cadillac awaits.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
Jacksonville, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
All right, sports fans, Hicken here. Let's talk skin. Me, myself, and I, and Beaches Dermatology, are reminding you all, man, wear that sunscreen, right? Got to wear the sunscreen. Why? Because you're outside all the time in this great state of ours that has and is the Sunshine State. So if you're an active parent hanging at the fields in your boat to fish, you like to chill at the beach, wear sunscreen. Because if you don't, there can be some ramifications, short and long term. Skin cancer is not something you want to deal with. So when grabbing the clubs for your tea time, you're gassing up the boat, you're grabbing the chairs for your kids' game, make sure to bring the screen. And if you have any concerns on your body right now, go see my friends, Doctors Boudreaux and Metz, the best in the business at Beaches Dermatology. By the way, they've been taking care of me for decades now. Give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Attention North Florida, it's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker. And it's not just poker. With delicious food, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. And ante up for fun.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hello. The Checkmate Coatings phone line has you covered from the floor up. From tough sports topics to strong surfaces, Checkmate Coatings is your floor's missing piece and your connection to the sports world on 1010XL.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your... Whoa.
The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air & Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
If a birthday or anniversary is looming in your immediate future, take care of it today by ordering a floral arrangement online at CuneFlowers.com. You'll be the star of their day. This is Frank Frangie. Take it from me. An arrangement from Kuhn Flowers works like magic.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. Hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we are back. We're at Magnolia Point Golf Club, hanging out here, getting ready for the E to the T Charity Golf Classic. The boys are going off in a couple minutes. We'll go off.
Probably you're out there right now, yeah.
We'll go off at 10 o'clock, so we'll see how we do, see how we rock and roll. We're expecting to win, quite frankly. We've brought in a couple of big-time players are here with us, and we're looking to take home the hardware and anything else we can get our grimy little hands on to be champions, because that's what we do. In the end, we are champions.
Is this the same guy, or what's going on here?
What's the matter?
I'm reading a...
Oh, dear.
I got another NFL top 10 quarterback list.
Okay, well.
This one's from...
So many of them.
I get it, but we had the one from Nick Tice, was it? Mike Tice's kid a couple days ago. Trevor was, 9?
Yeah.
This is ranking the NFL's top 10 quarterbacks from SI.com. Your favorite, Jared Feinberg, is popping this one out. Tell me when it's wrong.
Before you do that, let me just pass this on. Remember that kid from St. John's who
R.J. Lewis
went into the portal and then he went to the draft?
Undrafted, yeah. He signed last night.
Didn't get drafted.
Right.
All right.
Caleb Love, Sears at Alabama, another one. And those guys all in common, they're little guys.
Yeah.
And the NBA hates little guys because they stink. They can't do much. Stop me when I'm wrong.
Okay.
Or when Jared is wrong.
Okay.
Number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Number 2, Lamar Jackson.
As long as you got the top 4, I'm
Number
cool.
3, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Number 4, Joe Burrow.
That's fine.
Number 5, Justin Herbert. Number 6, Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Who are you putting there?
Not Justin Herbert.
Okay, who?
I think I put Jaden Daniels there yesterday.
Jalen Hurts shows up at 7.
I'm okay with that.
C.J. Stroud, number 8, despite a, quote, sophomore slump.
Yeah. Peyton Manning said about him, has Houston won a playoff game in each of his first 2 years?
Yes.
Peyton said, I didn't even win a playoff game until my 6th year. So
correct.
I think that's fair.
Here's what he writes about his number 9 quarterback. Number 10, by the way, is number 10 in every list. And maybe the NFL quarterback situation isn't as great and healthy as we think it is. Because Geno Smith is 10 everywhere, bro.
Yeah, I know.
If that's the 10th best quarterback in the league, then about his 9th rated quarterback, he writes, I am still a believer in this guy and have been from the start. This is a passer that kept his team in plenty of games last season when healthy and lost some of them too. That is the nature of his gunslinger play style. However, under a new head coach, he has a great chance to put up career-high numbers with a sufficient and talented crop of skilled players at wide receiver. He has, at number 9, Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, well, that's great.
I think this speaks more to kind of how flimsy, like, from 7 down this guy. I mean, there's not a huge difference game to game between Trevor Lawrence and C.J. Stroud, Dan. There's just not.
Right.
Not a huge difference between Trevor Lawrence and Matthew Stafford or Justin Herbert. It's like after those 4, unless you're all in on Hurts or Daniels, it's hard to argue one over the other.
I got a list for you.
Okay. I am happy for the team. It's just to get some.
That's good.
Again, I don't.
You know me, I'm in the prove it mode. So
yeah,
as
for
soon as
sure.
I see it, I'll be lauding that guy. I'll be buying 16 jerseys.
9 is prove it. I mean, if you're 9th or 10th, you are proven. That ain't nothing special. You're Geno. This is where he belongs. Geno Smith.
Yeah.
You know.
Who's 11?
We go to honorable mention.
Is Jaden Daniels 8?
Honorable mention is Goff, Daniels, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy.
No way. Trevor should be behind those guys.
That's what this says.
Yeah. You know what Trevor is, though? He's the easy guy to pick to show that to say you're smart, like because he could bounce back.
Well, the reason for that
you know
is,
what I mean?
I think if you were waiting on a sign, then it would be harder to do that. But people still remember the 2022 when he was
that's true too.
So good and would show up on these lists with reason behind it rather than I still believe behind it. All right, give me your list.
Tell me the 5 best New York Yankees of all time.
All time. That'd be a hard one.
Yeah.
But I can. Aaron Judge has played his way into that, I believe. I really do.
Okay.
I'm going Ruth and Gehrig.
Okay. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Ruth 1.
I'm going Ruth 1.
Yeah.
I might go Mantle 2. I'll go Mantle 2, Gehrig 3.
Okay.
Judge 4.
Okay.
And again, I understand the level of players that we haven't even gotten to yet.
Right.
From the old days to most recently, but I mean, I got to put the one guy who was there through all 5. I got to put Jeter on there at 5. I respect Jeter and how he played. He's not a superstar. I think if your main leader is responsible for 5 titles, you're not giving him enough credit.
Okay.
Who did I leave out? I left out somebody obvious.
Well, Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah. Okay. You don't put Jeter over DiMaggio? Anybody on my? You put DiMaggio over my list? Who else? Judge 2?
I got
Judge 2 or just Jeter?
I'd have Judge in the top 10. I would have him top 5.
Okay.
Well, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio.
This is your list?
No.
Oh.
This is their list. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio.
So the top 3 were the same.
You didn't have.
That's the 3 I had. That 3.
Yeah.
I didn't have DiMaggio. I had Judge.
DiMaggio, Jeter.
And I have Jeter 5th. The only difference is he got DiMaggio 4th and I got Judge 4th. The only difference in the list.
Lawrence Peter Barra 6.
Who?
Yogi.
Oh. I didn't hear. I thought you said Barrow, but that wouldn't make
Mariano Rivera 7.
Yeah, that's the joke. That's
Reggie
awful.
Reggie 9.
Yeah, that's awful that
Aaron
Mariano
Judge 10.
Rivera is placed there. That is so ridiculous.
Well, Aaron Judge has done absolutely squat in the postseason.
Yeah,
he's been
that matters.
And that matters with the Yankees.
It does.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That matters with the
But I would also say that of all those other guys you named, they were on dynastic, unbelievable good teams.
Yeah.
And the Yankees have not been the best team. Like, those guys won when the Yankees were the best team.
Yeah.
These Yankees have not been the best team. They've been a good team. They've been good enough to win.
Yeah.
But they haven't been the best team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I got one more.
That's a hard. Judge. Yeah, the only difference we had there was Judge. How many MVPs does Judge have now? And where are we at on? Like, where is Judge going to land? Is he getting 500?
I'm going to give you 5 guesses to tell me who has the lowest starting ERA.
It's like a live golf tournament's broken out behind us.
Yeah.
At the DJ.
Since
Sundresses.
May 21st, 2021 is the date.
May 21st.
So 22, 23, 24, 25. Basically the last 3.5 years. What starting pitcher has the lowest ERA in baseball?
Fried.
Fried is one of them, but not. He's tied for the lowest.
He's tied for the lowest.
Yes.
Okay, so I technically kind of got it right.
Yeah, but
if the other guy's what surprises you,
I will give you 10 guesses. But
I got to look at some names.
Yeah, go ahead. Look at some names.
But so he's pitched every year. He can't just be like 1 year he popped and then he barely played the rest of the time.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
you see what I mean?
Some guys have missed time, like
Gausman. What about him?
Nope, I think Gausman. Gausman's not in the top 10.
There's it's got to play longer than Skeens and Scooble and those guys that are so hot. What about? Sale didn't pitch enough, and then last year was his return to ERA.
Sale is
he in there?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. 297.
How many appearances? Like Strider? How many appearances do you have to have?
No, it's not Strider. I don't know. Obviously, Sale's had enough, and
all right. So I said Fried. Let me just look at some pictures here. How about Framber Valdez?
That's a good guess. No, not in the top 10.
Okay.
I don't know why I said it's a good guess. He's not in the top 10. Maybe it's not a good guess. I don't know.
Is it the? Gosh, man. How about I said Fried.
Well, let me give you.
What about Crochet, the dude for?
No, good guess. Not in the top 10. Clayton
DeGrom?
No.
Not enough pitches.
Probably not enough. Clayton Kershaw is 3rd.
That's sad. Now that surprises me.
He's 4-0 this year, by the way.
I know, it surprises me.
Yeah.
I saw he had 5 strikeouts.
3 strikeouts away from 3,000. Shohei is 4th.
Okay. That's not enough innings to count for me, but okay.
Brandon Woodruff is 5th. Zach Wheeler was one you should have got. He's been very consistent.
Yeah, I think I could have gotten around to this.
Scooble is right behind Wheeler.
So Scooble, I could give as an answer.
Yeah.
That guy's okay.
Shane McClanahan from Tampa Bay, who was hurt last year. Chris Sale from Atlanta, and Corbin Burns are. But who's the guy? Who's the number? Who's tied with Max Fried for 2.61 ERA?
Okay. You threw in some
American League. American League East.
Okay, AL East. Is it
Tampa Bay Rays?
Not Evaldi?
No.
He's with the.
I don't even know this guy.
Is it not the guy that got Jeff whatever that got hurt? Who is it? Which one is
Drew Rasmussen?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Lowest ERA since Drew Rasmussen's debut on May 21st, 2021.
I'm gonna have to get some cumulative numbers here. I mean, I watched.
What about that?
I mean, how many innings does Drew Rasmussen? I mean, how many appearances? What are we talking about? I'm surprised Drew Rasmussen doesn't exactly register.
Do you know anything?
I know the name.
You do?
I do know the name, but only because I read these.
Hell if I know
these Rays pitching stories through the years. Like last year, they lost a guy early who was supposed to be
7-5 this year with a 2.45.
I think ERA is important.
We used to have arguments about ERA.
I know. We have arguments about the whip. ERA has always been important.
Yeah.
I don't know what else can tell you how you're pitching more than ERA and whip.
Yeah, he hasn't pitched a ton.
Yeah,
So
that's why.
But he's starting this year, 16 starts. All right, we'll do the break, make the turn for home, and then we're going golf next right here on The Drill.
Well, let's go.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
How bad do you really feel? I feel pretty good, actually. Why is that? Well, all we had was
1010XL.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beechurst here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beechurst Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do, and plumbing is what we're great at. Beechurst Plumbing, here to help.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 27, 2001, Kwame Brown, Glenn Academy's leading rebounder and shot blocker, was the first overall selection by the Washington Wizards.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
At Tucker Equipment Rental in Neptune Beach, you just don't rent quality machines, you rent quality customer service. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave. Tucker Equipment Rental has been supplying Jacksonville with equipment and event rental for over 50 years.
From commercial and homeowner projects, we've got what you need: lifts, dirt equipment, and landscape equipment.
And don't forget about event rentals, from festivals to weddings to backyard barbecues.
Local, knowledgeable, and always ready to help.
Tucker Equipment Rentals.
You need it, we've got it, come see us.
Man, I can't wait for Saturday. I'm going to the Jacksonville Axemen Rugby League game. They're playing the Southwest Florida Copperheads, and it's going to be good.
Rugby league is crazy. No pads or helmets. Now that's a real contact sport. Count me in.
Join the ratified credit union Jacksonville Axemen as they take on the Copperheads at the UNF Turf Field tomorrow night at 7. Tickets start at $10 and kids under 12 are free at jacksaxe.com.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Hey, gang. Hicken here for my friends at Zero Res. The cleaning freaks, good time, right? We got graduation parties. I went to a couple this weekend. Summer barbecues, festivities, family gatherings. Man, we need Zero Res. Cleaning freaks will make that house look better, feel better, smell better. They darn sure will. And by the way, Zero Res, if you don't believe me, 4.9 rating on Google with over 8,000 reviews. Big summer savings for you guys. 3 rooms of carpet clean right now starting at $129. 3 rooms, carpet clean, starting at $129, and take 20% off air duct cleaning. All you got to do, visit ZeroResJacksonville.com or call them 287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. It's Zero Res, man. You spell it forwards, it's Zero Res. You spell it backwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
ET here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find Scratch Kitchen that always comes in the clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more. Come on, somebody.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
That's the best way to put it. Welcome back to the show. We're just wrapping up, cooling down a little bit, and it's going to be a warm one out here at Magnolia Point. To the T golf tournament.
I mean, I'm gonna have. It wasn't my plan.
Down on it.
Well, this is Cool in the Gang, so I'm cooling down on Cool in the Gang. Getting down
somewhat
on
ironic because
I feel like we're at a live event, which is it'll be a lot like a live event. No one will see it on television, and we'll all be wearing shorts. So it's just like live.
Does Liv allow the shirts off?
Yeah, and then we'll have a reception afterwards. So basically, if you're interested in live golf, you can just come out to Magnolia today and watch us. There's a band playing or a DJ playing and a bunch of guys playing for no cost. We're prepaid already.
You know what? There's nothing better than when the best time to play golf with Kentucky, Jeff, is?
I see Kentucky.
You know when the best time to play golf with them is? After the Gators have won a national championship in his sport.
That's good. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And by the way, football order was also restored last year.
Yeah.
That was a pitiful performance Big Blue put on there. They're ready to fire Stu. Their football legacy, their era lasted about 2.5 years.
He's happy. He's what he's done is he's convinced himself just baby steps to get back to Kentucky way without Calipari. So he's convinced himself that Big Galoot is the guy.
Yeah, what's that guy's Pope? Mark Pope.
The Pope is going to do it. He's bringing in his guys. What he did last year was really remarkable. Just get us to the Sweet 16. He's lost the Kentucky edge.
Yeah,
what's
you can't.
happened.
Yeah, Kentucky.
And so,
like Final
and
Four.
so
is
now
the
I
standard.
just chide him continuously as we have now won more natties than they've won in the last 25 years.
Wow, that's amazing. 3 of them.
Well, the blue blood stuff starts coming up, and he has to throw out like young blood, not blue blood. Young blood.
No, I don't know, man. 30 years starts to get bluish.
And so
starts to get bluish after 30.
You get another guy in there to win a natty, and now all of a sudden,
what do we got? 6 Final Fours and 3 titles. What you got since '94, buddy?
Not that. It's the best time. It's the best time. And by the way, God help us if we get another #1 draft pick because listen, that's what That's what.
3. We got 3, buddy.
And Kentucky Jeff, by the way, the great thing about Kentucky Jeff, he's
right here in front of us, gang, taking it off. He's milling around in the corner over there.
Pacing.
Yeah, he's pacing like a cat.
He's actually Kentucky Jeff is one of the fair-minded Kentucky basketball fans. That's the crazy thing about it. These psychos from the Commonwealth, they lose their mind. And so Kentucky Jeff is like, listen, a great season is if you make the Final Four. That's what he always taught me. If you make the Final Four, it's a great season.
No matter who you are.
No matter who you are.
Yeah.
And let the chips
I agree
fall,
with that.
Let the chips fall where they may. So, but I get 4 hours now to just twist it in them. So it's going to be a good time out there.
They haven't based on that standard. Also, they haven't had great years at Kentucky lately.
No, they haven't.
There have been a lot of great Final Four years.
Yeah. So anyway, we got that going for us. So that'll be fun.
Kentucky probably also has 3 in that same period, don't they? They had the Tubby, Patino, and then they got the one with Calipari.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Got the one? All right, so 3-3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about how it should be Kentucky v. Florida
And what's
basketball.
great about Kentucky, Jeff, is
how many natties you got in football to match our 3, huh? What you got there? Huh?
What about baseball?
The baseball, you got any?
I know you got, what is it, the shooting? What's your one sport? Archery or shooting? Shooting.
How about cow tipping? Cow tipping?
Shooting, they got natty.
What do the analytics say on the cow tipping? You guys are top 3 there.
You don't want to add up natties or SEC championships with us, though. You don't want to do that. Yeah, go ahead, because we kill you.
Cheerleading.
Put whatever you want in there. He can put whatever he wants in there.
I didn't know Kentucky had cheerleaders.
Ashley Judd was a cheerleader at Kentucky.
She's looking good these days. Probably like most former Kentucky cheerleaders. She looks real nice, Ashley Judd. Yeah. That's how they age them up there. Like they age a little. Those cheerleaders age a little worse than the bourbon up there, Jeffrey.
You know what Kentucky Jeff's favorite Wildcat is of all time?
Let me guess. I can guess.
Rex Chapman.
I was going to say it. Let me give you another one. Let me give you a guy pre-Rex Chapman. Hunter, how old are you, Geoff? Are you our age or you're younger?
He's younger.
You remember Jim Masters? You loved him as a little kid, didn't you? You loved Jim Masters. You don't remember him, do you, Hick? You have to be a Southern basketball fan.
Wasn't there a LeMaster? Troy? What is it? Who played with?
I'm talking about, but the Masters. What I'm talking. Yeah.
Who played with Turpin? Yeah, was there a LeMaster who played with Turpin? Who was the guy I funneled beers with at the frat house when Mel Turpin and it wasn't Jim Masters, I don't think. Was he with Melvin or no?
Masters
McKinley. Was there a McKinley? A Troy McKinley? Does that sound? You have to look that one up. We had 3 Kentucky Wildcats, including Mel Turpin, which was the greatest, come by 11 fraternity row. We took them upstairs. We funneled beers, and then we beat their ass on Monday, and we swung our fraternity jerseys at them, and they were like, yeah, they didn't care. They came in early. Joe B will never bring them early again, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he shouldn't. Sounds like that was a mistake.
Yeah. Oh, here he comes.
Who was the Harden? What was his name? Roger Harden? Yeah. We
had his brother.
We had a crazy.
Didn't we have Rob Harden?
Was that his brother? We used to get a great chant. A great chant. They may have changed one of those vowels down there in the O'Connell Center.
Wait a minute.
Harden.
Was Harden from Valpo, Indiana, Kokomo?
No, that was Brian Hogan. Brian Hogan?
Isn't there a Roger and Rob Harden brothers? One was blonde who played in Kentucky.
I don't know.
Our guy had dark hair.
Yeah, I had that.
I'm pretty sure they're brothers.
Yeah. Well, Rob Harden didn't amount to
We
anything.
had his brother. He was no good.
Yeah.
Now I got to look it up.
He was great. I think to Reed Crafton.
No, stop it. You guys frustrate me. You guys both know. You know Gator basketball better than me, and you don't know Rob Harden.
Well, he didn't play.
He played.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember him.
And he was Roger's brother.
Well, so when did he play? Like what years? In the 80s?
Rob Harden
in
college
the 80s?
Stats.
When are we talking about? Who did he play for? DeVoe?
He started it. What the hell? Oh, he only played 1 year with us? Then he went to Valpo. Then he went to Nevada.
Can I get some numbers on Harden in the year, please?
In the year he played
After
for
I
us?
was just so, raked over the coals.
27 games he played.
How many minutes?
In 1982.
Minutes a game. Minutes a game. I wasn't even in school yet.
I was there.
I went in 85, and that's after Roger Harden. That's before Roger Harden, not after, on the timeline.
30.1 minutes.
A game? Or total, all year?
Minutes played, 30.1.
All year, wow. So he got a minute a game.
No.
So he was a player.
Yeah, he shot.
30 minutes a game. That's the whole game, Nick.
Yeah, I know. He didn't play the whole game.
Whatever, it's fine. Roger or whatever. Rob Harden played for the Gators.
Yes.
And yes, there's a reason I didn't know.
And that was his big brother. Though.
One was 82, and this two is he didn't really play much in
fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Like I was almost I give me sketchy memory, but I was almost.
E, do you have anything to report before we go?
I was almost positive that he wasn't there when I was there. So I'm glad to at least know that.
No, nothing to report. Once again, I appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciating the whole 1010 platform for allowing me to have y'all here, and it's go time.
Cleared off the hole for us?
Of course, man. It's gonna open up like the sea when y'all get there.
He's gonna put us on in the right spot.
All right.
Well, what are we doing? Is Tony back? Why is my mic on? I don't hear a thing about.
It's on. Go ahead.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on, guys?
What you got cooking today on a Friday?
We'll have Tommy Mack in as we do each Friday here on the show. Wednesday, we talked a lot about offense and what we can expect good seasons out of individual players, what that would look like from them. Today, we're going to flip it over to the defensive side of the ball and talk about what would a good season for a guy like Josh Hines Allen look like, what would an okay season for him look like those kind of things with all the key pieces there on defense, which leads to our question of the day today, asking which of these returning Jaguars defenders is most likely to have a breakout season. You can select someone else if you just want to send in a name if you'd like, but the options in the poll today: Tyson Campbell, Jarian Jones, Mason Smith, Andrew Wingard.
Boy, that's good. I like that. Look forward to it. Have a great show.
Thank you very much.
All right, Tony and Tommy Mack holding it down on Jaguars today. That's coming up momentarily. We're going golfing. Everybody have a great weekend, and we will catch up with you guys early Monday morning. RJ, thank you. E, congrats on your tournament.
Appreciate you.
We're going golfing.
Yep.
Swerve
on them.
When you listen to radio play-by-play, you don't just hear the game, you feel it.
They feel good.